Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
Welcome into Utah Grizzlies hockey right here on YouTube, live at the Maverik Center. I'm Tim Montemayor, and we are getting you ready for Game 2 between your Utah Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads. And certainly last night was not the outcome that any of us were looking for in Game 1 of this series. And you're going to hear from the head coach and general manager, Ryan Kanasowicz, coming up here in just a bit. And if you missed it last night somehow, the building was lit. All of the new instruments that you see hanging over the ice there, I say instruments, the video boards, the ribbon boards, there's a lot to look at here at Maverik Center on a beautiful Friday night. Now, unfortunately, on Thursday night, as we saw, Game 1 did not go as we had hoped. 6-1, the Idaho Steelheads won the game, and I'll tell you right now, that was not good enough for Ryan Kanasowicz and the Utah Grizzlies. I think you can expect a far better performance tonight out of your Utah Grizzlies. And one change for you, the Utah Grizzlies add a fresh body, and it's because the Grizzlies have been struggling so much to stay healthy on the blue line. One, you have Andrew Nielsen down, but also you've had promotions. Nate Klerman is up, obviously, as many of you know now, with the Colorado Eagles, as he is in the AHL. So today, the Utah Grizzlies had defenseman Corey Thomas, and let me tell you, he is a big boy. I saw him at morning skate this morning. First of all, he played 8 games with the Idaho Steelheads last year, so he's well aware what goes on over in that locker room. But Corey Thomas is a big guy. He brings you a really physical presence. You will see him on the ice tonight as Ryan Kanasowicz continues to mix up the D pairings. But as you look at the boys around the ice getting ready to rock and roll here at the Maverik Center, we're just about 30 minutes away from face-off tonight. When we come back, you're going to hear from Kyle Pouncey, one of the leaders on that blue line. He's a guy that I think brings a very calming presence to this Utah Grizzlies lineup. So you'll hear from Kyle Pouncey in about 15 minutes. You'll hear from the head coach and general manager, Ryan Kanasowicz, as well. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to the Maverik Center. Tim Montemayor with you as you are getting ready for face-off between the Utah Steelheads, who are right here at Maverik Center, to take on your Utah Grizzlies, the Idaho Steelheads versus your Utah Grizzlies, for Game 2. Let's talk about Game 1 because obviously the Utah Grizzlies did not come out and perform their best. 6-1. The Grizzlies give up 6 goals to the Idaho Steelheads last night as the Steelheads come in and have their way here at the Mav. And one of the things that I think we all recognize is that's just not good enough. And you're going to hear from the head coach and general manager of your Utah Grizzlies, Ryan Kanasowicz, coming up here in about 5 minutes, so stick around for that. But one thing that was very clear last night, it felt like the Utah Grizzlies were just skating in quicksand. They were not playing fast. They were not playing physical enough. And really, where the game was won and lost was probably in front of the net. The Idaho Steelheads did an excellent job of getting the puck to the goaltender pads. You know, you saw 3 quick goals in the first period. Garrett Metcalf, who started in net for the Grizzlies, was pulled early in the first period for Trent Miner, who came in and, frankly, if we're being honest, did a really solid job. It was a tough environment to come into when you're down. And if you didn't see the game last night, Neil Robinson, one of the best stories in the ECHL this year. He finally gets back on the ice for your Utah Grizzlies. He opens up his account for the 2022-2023 season, puts the Grizzlies up 1-0, but it was straight downhill from there. 6 unanswered goals to close the night out, and nobody enjoyed it at all. Had a chance to catch up with Utah Grizzly defenseman Kyle Pouncey at practice this morning, and I think you'll see he did not pull any punches about last night's performance.
You guys have a lot of challenges right now. You have some guys down on the blue line. Like, what are the challenges of everybody coming together to fill those gaps?
Well, let's think it's just coming to terms that we got to be simple, right? It's winning the battles in front of the net, winning the battles on the blue lines. Just all the little things are going to add up, especially against a team like this. You know, we have to be 100% work ethic, and just keeping it simple is definitely the biggest thing right now.
Is there a test in that? Like, you guys didn't play your best hockey last night very clearly. Nobody's happy about that. But so is it a test? Is it a character thing? We throw out all these big words, but simply put, what does it mean to you guys this game tonight?
It's huge. You know, thankfully we get another second chance here against these guys, right? Obviously we're not happy at all with our effort last night, and the good news is that we can kind of rectify that tonight leading into Sunday as well, right? We got a lot more games against these guys, so, you know, it starts tonight. You know,
you have to be pretty happy for Robinson. I mean, that's a guy that's been grinding to get back in the lineup. He gets in last night, and outside of how the game finished, I mean, to give you guys a 1-0 lead, that was a really good goal, I felt like.
For sure. That was the biggest bright spot. You know, seeing him score is huge. You know, I'm close with him, and it's been a year-long process for him to be back in the lineup after a brutal injury that was super unlucky. So all the boys were psyched for him, and rightfully so.
That's Kyle Pouncey, Utah Grizzlies. Good old number 23 on the blue line for your Grizzlies. And he's a guy that really brings a calming presence back to the lineup. And I think Ryan Kanasowicz knows when Kyle Pouncey's on the ice and in the lineup, he can count on him to move the puck and make the right play 9 out of 10 times. And most of the time, if you as a defenseman move that puck to the right place, good things are going to happen. We'll see tonight. Now, going into this game, I would expect a far different performance by the Utah Grizzlies. We'll talk to Ryan Kanasowicz coming up in just a bit. But if you've not been to the Maverik Center this season, perhaps you haven't gotten a look at the beautiful, new, renovated Maverik Center. And when I say renovated, there's a brand new scoreboard, brand new ribbon boards. Well, that just doesn't happen on its own one day, now does it? Let's show you behind the scenes how it all went down at the Maverik Center. You're a guy who's been in this building more than most people. How different is it with these big boards? How different is it with these ribbons for you?
It's fantastic. Obviously, you know, the ribbon board's getting bigger, and you just look up at the Jumbotron here. It's awesome for the fans. It's nice for us to have a better view of the TV of what's going on the game for replays and stuff, and it's awesome to see this building getting upgraded.
You know, you told me a story once about remembering where seats you've sat and goals you've scored here. Like, how special is this building for you? Like, how nostalgic are you about this place?
Yeah, it's awesome to be able to come on this ice and skate with these guys every day. It's fun for me, and I really enjoy it. And obviously, you know, for the games, walking out as a coach on this bench and just seeing it all open in front of your eyes it's really cool for me.
What are your thoughts on the new big boy up there, and what are your thoughts about all the new boards in here?
Yeah, that's great. That's going to be exciting to see tomorrow night, and the production that the social team and that puts on here. So I think myself and all the guys are looking forward to it.
Obviously, there's a lot of new boards and visuals in here. What do you think? How's that look?
Well, it's pretty sweet. Hopefully we don't get too distracted by it on the bench during the game. But yeah, it's nice to have this. Definitely adds to like the atmosphere and the fan experience, so we're excited about it.
So what do you think about the new Jumbotron? What do you think about all the new boards out there?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's going to be fun to play in front of that. I mean, be able to see replays and stuff, and I think the fans will love it. So just going to make the experience all that much better.
Now, there you go. By the way, that was Keaton Jamison. Happy birthday, Keaton Jamison. Today is Keaton's birthday, so good to see him. Maybe he gets a birthday goal or two tonight. As we're leading you up to face off, about 20 minutes to go between your Utah Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads right here on YouTube. But don't go anywhere. 60 seconds from right now, we'll talk to the head coach and general manager of your Utah Grizzlies, Ryan Kanasowicz. It's next on the Utah Grizzlies pregame show presented by America First Credit Union. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Yeah, Clark Phillips and the Utah Utes have a big game. That's tomorrow up in Eugene at Oregon. No Utah Grizzlies hockey. A very rare Saturday evening without hockey during the season here at the Mav, and they'll be back. Don't forget the Utah Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads Sunday for a 3:10 faceoff. Of course, you can hear all the action right here on our YouTube channel. And don't forget, coming up in about 15 minutes, Tyson Whiting, the voice of the Utah Grizzlies, will have all of your play-by-play action. But as you know, it's Game 2 tonight. We're just about 20 minutes away. If you're in the area, come on by the Maverik Center. It's Pooch on the Pond, and it is going to be a hotly contested night between the Grizzlies and the Steelheads, as always. And I'll tell you, last night, it was all Steelheads 6-1. The head coach and general manager, Ryan Kanasowicz, was none too pleased about that.
So let's talk about last night. Obviously, let's just get it out of the way. You lose 6-1 last night. Just your feelings on that, and looking back on it, how do you look at it?
I thought it was, just to be blunt, it was an embarrassing performance, especially on our home ice. And that's something that we won't put up with here, and the guys know that. And we've had a morning, put them kind of through the ringer, and we'll see how they respond tonight.
Is it easy to make too much out of a loss like that? It is one game. If you bounce back, do you feel better about that? Because a guy like you probably never feels good about a game like that.
No, and I'm sure they don't feel good about a game like that, but. When games like that come, you got to squash it right away and just get those habits, out of the way. And, I think we did a good job this morning in competing, and hopefully we carry that into tonight's game.
Yeah, and the guys seem really ready to go. I got to say, I thought that was a fabulous practice this morning. That's what my opinion counts, but I really felt like you guys got after it. There was a high level of compete out there, I thought.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I told them last night, I said, you guys didn't compete tonight, so we're going to compete in the morning, and good on them for showing up and battling.
Yeah, let's talk about your blue line a little bit. Obviously, you have some guys out of the lineup. How do you feel about your pairings, and what are you looking for back there?
Just simplicity out of them. Obviously, we're missing some key guys back there, and you're going to have that throughout the year. We need some guys to step up and just kind of simplify their game and don't make life harder than it needs to be.
You bring in Corey Thomas. Obviously, you can just look at that guy and see that's a big body. What do you like about him, and why is he a fit for your club?
I saw him a bunch last year in Idaho towards the end of the year. Big body, moves pretty well. He competes hard, and I think he's going to bring up the physicality on our back end.
And then, obviously, what do you want to see tonight that you didn't see last night? To your eye, what are you looking for?
Compete. Just one word: compete. That's plain and simple. If we come out and compete, the first 10 minutes we came out with some jump and put them on their heels, and then we just turned it off. So, yeah, compete.
Does it take some of the shine off of Neil Robinson's moment? Because one of the good things I thought that came out of last night was that goal, but everybody was elated for him. I mean, like on the bench and skate this morning, like it just seemed like one of those really good moments for a guy, frankly, who's had to work hard to get back in.
Yeah, and his road back in, I mean, he played 3 games for us and had a pretty severe injury, and I was pretty happy to see him get that, as were all the guys, and hopefully that he can just build on that.
Yeah. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
There you go, the head coach and general manager of your Utah Grizzlies, Ryan Kanasowicz. Don't go anywhere. Utah Grizzlies hockey is straight ahead. Tyson Whiting's going to lead you right up to face-off. I'll join you from the bench as we get into action for Game 2. It is your Utah Grizzlies against the Idaho Steelheads. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Live from the Maverik Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey. As tonight's the second of a 3-game series between the Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. The Grizz won 4 of their last 6 games. They're on a 2-game losing streak, and they hope not to make it 3 tonight. It's the 4th of 18 season meetings between the Grizzlies and Steelheads. For my money, the best rivalry in the league. And obviously, Utah needs a bounce-back effort after falling 6-1 last night to Idaho. Neil Robinson scored 6:28 into the contest. Then Idaho scored 6 unanswered after that. Ty Pelton-Bice led Idaho with 2 goals and 1 assist. Colton Keller had 3 assists, and Patrick Kudla had 1 goal and 1 assist. Idaho outshot Utah 41-25. The last 2 games, the Grizzlies have allowed 83 shots, and so we'll see if the shot count goes a little bit more into Utah's favor. Watch out for Dylan Fitz. He's my pick to click tonight. Make sure to make your pick to click on the Grizzlies live chat on the YouTube feed, which is the audio portion of the Grizzlies broadcast. We are live on Flow Sports as well, the exclusive streaming provider of the ECHL. Dylan Fitz had 9 shots last night. He's got 19 shots over his last 3 games. He is my pick to click. Everybody make your pick to click. We got Guy Carenza hanging out here high atop Section 114 at Maverik Center. Guy, who's your pick to click this evening?
Give me the new guy. Give me the new defenseman. Give me Thomas.
Corey Thomas, who's about 6'5" and 210 pounds, is Guy's pick to click. Guy Morgan is going with Brandon Cutler as his pick to click. I think Nadine Hellewell went with Kyle Pouncey. Looks like Scott Hellewell went with Connor McDonald with a hat trick. You know, if Connor McDonald gets a hat trick, Scott Hellewell wins pick to click for the whole year. He just wins the championship with a hat trick with Connor McDonald, who had the overtime game winner on November 9th against the Allen Americans. Well, I mentioned Corey Thomas, one of 6 defensemen for the Grizzlies tonight. He's going to be wearing number 3. Utah's going to be without Andrew Nilsson. He missed the majority of last night's game. Nilsson has 13 points, which lead the Grizzlies, and he's also got 12 assists, which leads all league defensemen. The 6 defensemen for the Grizzlies tonight, and we'll have the lineups when we come back in 30 seconds as we're in business on a Friday night. Risby's wearing the white jersey tonight, and so are the Grizzlies. This is Utah Grizzlies Hockey presented by Mountain Land Supply Company. Welcome back to Grizzlies Hockey. Starting lineup for the Grizz, and net's going to be Trent Miner making his 5th appearance this season. He's got a record of 1-2 with a 3.21 goals against average and a 904 save percentage. The backup tonight is Garrett Metcalf. Starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies, the captain, Connor McDonald, who's got 1 goal and 1 assist in 11 games. McDonald isn't even on the plus-minus category. He'll be paired up with Victor Bartley, who's got 1 assist in 7 games. Bartley with 121 games of NHL experience, most of them coming with the Nashville Predators. He also had some experience with the Montreal Canadiens. He played in the KHL the last 3 seasons. Other defensemen we're expected to see tonight. Corey Thomas makes his Grizzlies debut. He's a former Idaho Steelhead. He was in camp this year with Idaho and was cut at camp, and he brings size to the table at 6'5" and 215 pounds. We'll also see Joey Colatarchi making his 7th appearance this season. He's a +1 on the year. And we will also see Bryson Martin and Kyle Pouncey. So that's the 6 defensemen. McDonald and Bartley will be the starters. Starting forward for the Grizzlies, Taryn Fizer, who's tied for the club lead with 6 goals. He's got 6 goals and 2 assists, 8 points in 11 games. Fizer will be starting for the Grizzlies at 1 wing. Starting center is Tyler Penner, who's got 1 goal in 11 games. Penner was the Iron Man last year, playing in all 72 regular season games and all 18 playoff games for Utah. And Brandon Cutler, who's got 3 goals and 2 assists in 9 games. I got a feeling Cutler's going to have a big night. He's going to be a popular pick for the picks to click here this evening. So Fizer, Penner, and Cutler are the starting forwards. We're also expected to see Johnny Walker tonight, who's got 4 goals in his last 5 games. Keaton Jamison's in the Grizzlies lineup. Dylan Fitz is my pick to click. He's got 19 shots in his last 3 games. Cameron Wright has 2 goals and 6 assists in his last 10 games. Zach Sekos is a +4, which lead all Grizzly skaters. Dakota Raby's going to be in there for Utah, as well as Cam Strong and last night's goal scorer, Neil Robinson. Scratches for the Grizzlies tonight: goaltender Lucas Parikh, defenseman Jordan Stone, James Shearer, and Andrew Nilsson are also out battling injuries, and Christian Simeone is also out of the Grizzlies lineup this evening. Before we get to our national anthem, let's get to the starting lineup for the Idaho Steelheads. In net's going to be Jake Kupski, who's got 2 shutouts this season, including 1 against the Grizzlies on October 29th when he stopped all 23 shots. Starting defensive pairing is Darren Brady and Matt Register. Starting forwards are Wade Murphy, Justin Misiak, and Jack Becker. Becker's got 2 goals and 5 assists in 11 games this season. And now, our national anthem here at Maverik Center. Well, I thought we were going to have our national anthem. We got the Air Force song. We had all the other military songs. And I bet there's a lot of passing grades that just were met by the students sitting in section 123. And now, our national anthem. That's our national anthem here on a Friday night at Maverik Center as the Grizzlies take on the Idaho Steelheads for the second of a three-game series. Utah trying to overcome a 6-1 loss last night and bounce back. And Monty is sitting on the Grizzlies bench right now. And Monty, I got a good feeling about tonight, but I thought that morning skate was interesting. I know you were there. There was a lot of compete and a lot of one-on-one and two-on-two battles during morning skate that I think is going to lead to a victory tonight. And I think that, you know, when you think about the drills that were ran on morning skate, kind of showed that Ryan Kanasowicz felt that there was a lack of compete last night in the loss.
I think every guy down here knew what last night was, and that it just can't happen again. And I think in my pregame conversation with Ryan Kanasowicz, I think he made a really good point that that's just not who we are. It's not acceptable here. I love this Utah Grizzlies team because they work hard. They don't have to be told that, but they were told that. And the one-on-ones and the two-on-twos we saw in morning skate today, Tyson, were nothing short of spectacular. I thought it was amazing to watch. I felt very lucky to be there, frankly, because it was just a really enjoyable time. But Tyson, there's a dog on the ice, bro.
Yeah, there is a dog. I don't think the dog actually dropped the puck, but the captain, J.J. White of the Steelheads, and Connor McDonald for the Grizzlies, the dog walking along the red carpet as Brian Pruch is nearby and Connor McDonald. Everybody's going to pet the dog as it will walk to the tunnel. And we got a good night of hockey. Pooch on the pond. It's an AFC Friday. We got a good crowd filing in here. And I think we got a fun one here tonight. And I'm expecting to see a good one from Trent Miner, who's seen the Steelheads quite a bit in his time. And Jake Kupski on the other side. We got a good goaltending matchup. He's already got 2 shutouts this season. Grizzlies going to have to get some bodies out in front of the net, and you know there's going to be a determination, especially with that top forward line that's starting the game tonight with Cutler, Penner, and Visor.
Yeah, and Cutler's a guy I'm waiting for. You know, like he's playing aggressive. He's a guy, don't forget, he came in late. But he's a guy that's ready to go. I mean, everybody on this team, to a man, I think is absolutely ready to go, Tyson. I expect a big, big start. And without further ado, Game 2, the Idaho Steelheads, the Utah Grizzlies, Tyson Whiting on the call.
Idaho wins the opening faceoff. They're skating from left to right as we see it from high atop section 114. And you see it on Flow Sports. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Wade Murphy at center ice. Right wing dumps it in. As Jesse Misiak and Connor McDonald over there along the boards. Jet Becker gets it. He'll throw it up top to Register. Across to Brady. Right wing shot. Saved by Miner. And Trent holds on and makes the stop as the Steelheads register the first shot of the game 20 seconds in.
Yeah, and good job by Trent Miner. Rebound control is something, you know, that was an issue last night. You really want to see net front, you know, assistance. You want to see a team effort to protect the front of the net, clear rebounds if they happen, get out and come out of the zone with a lot of momentum.
My pick to click is Dylan Fitz. Who are you going with tonight, Monty?
I think I got to go with Cam Wright is my pick to click tonight. I think he's ready to go.
Wright's got 2 goals and 6 assists in his last 6 games. Dylan Fitz has 19 shots over his last 3 games, including 9 last night. Draw's going to be in the right circle. Penner will take it against Jack Becker. Becker played at Michigan for 4 years and then Arizona State last year. Penner wins the face-off. He was at Colgate University for 4 seasons. He was all academic all 4 years. And it's his second year with the Grizzlies as turnover. Becker to the left side, gets held up by McDonald. Puck ends up towards the end wall. Fizer with a hit on Becker. Turnover, shot. Murphy couldn't get much on it. Now Cutler will throw it out to the center ice logo where it's taken back by Register. He'll feed it to center ice for Becker. And the bench wanted it played with a high stick, but we play on. Register at his blue line. Will skate out towards center ice. He'll nudge it ahead. As the Steelheads skate in, but it looked like a delayed offside. And puck ends up back at neutral ice. Idaho has it. As they'll skate over towards the right side. Newest member of the Steelheads, Justin Ducharme, will fire a backhand shot. The net gets dislodged on Trent Miner's side. As we got a whistle 1 minute, 2 seconds into the contest. And Justin Ducharme, number 11, was just added to the Steelheads roster today as he comes over from the AHL's Texas Stars. He's got an AHL entry-level deal. And we'll also have Corey Thomas making his Grizzlies debut.
Yep.
He played for Idaho 8 games last season.
It's a big body, too. He really is. This goaltending matchup is out of this world. With Kupski and Miner, we're in for a treat tonight.
Draws in the right circle. Zach Sekos will take it against A.J. White. White's the Idaho captain who was their leading scorer last year. And the draw won by Utah as Joey Kolatarchi skates around the net, being shadowed by Jonas Vandenberg, who had a goal last night. White will lift it into the air as it bounces at center ice. Idaho gathers it. Nick Canati, number 3, back in his own zone. He scored a goal last night, his first as a Steelhead. Pass up ahead connects. Ducharme, wearing number 11. Gains the line, stops along the left wing boards. Now he'll skate towards his right. He'll get it to Canati along the right side. Canati gets it taken away. Raby at center ice gets the puck. He got challenged by Spanenbergs. Canati will nudge it towards the near wall. Right takes it, left wing shot, saved by Kupski. Rebound along the left corner. Spanenberg's over there along with Wright. And the two collide sticks. Now A.J. White gets it 2-on-2. White from the right side tried to center. Got poked away by Thomas. Thomas in his first shift as a Grizzly. He's wearing number 3. Bryson Martin in the left corner. He's at the goal line now around the net, being shadowed by Owen Hedrick. I called him Hedrick last night. It's Hedrick. As Thomas will nudge it towards the left circle. Right in the corner, gets it taken away. As Patrick Kudla, who had 1 goal and 1 assist last night, will nudge it out to center ice. Puck bounced off the skate of Ryan Domowski, who's got 9 goals in 11 games this season. Wright will dump it into the Steelhead zone. He was across center ice, so he'll get off, no icing. Puck along the right side, Fitz with a shot, and it goes wide. Fitz got 19 shots in his last 3 games. Watch out for him. Neil Robinson had a goal last night, nudges it to the left circle. Taken back by Domowski along the near wall. He gets cut off by Bartley. Domowski dumps it in. Keaton Jamison, who was a scratch last night, he's back in there tonight. He'll get it to Connor McDonald. Connor, the Grizzlies captain, will throw it out to center ice. And it goes back to Matt Register as the Grizzlies back protecting their blue line. Idaho in their own zone, skating from left to right. Zane Franklin, number 31, or 37. He was with Allen 2 years ago. He'll bounce it off the end stanchion. It hits the side of the net. McDonald will spin it along the far wall. Register across to Brady. He'll take a shot. Kick saved by Miner. Rebound goes out to the right corner. Bartley will bounce it off the stanchion. It goes out to neutralize for Sekos. He'll feed it across to McDonald. Connor tried to dump it in from center ice, but Misiak poked it away. Franklin near center ice battling with Cam Strong. Franklin's able to nudge it ahead. It's taken by Sekos. He'll skate towards the right circle. Backhand shot, and it hits the side of the net. Rebound goes out to Idaho as Jade Miller will lift it over the head of Franklin. It's in Grizzlies territory. Bryson Martin gets it for Utah. He'll get it across to Kolatarchi. Now back to Martin, the former 3rd-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres. Up ahead, it bounced off the stick of Cam Strong. But the linesman said no. And so icing is on the Grizzlies.
Boy, what a start we've had. This has been high pace already, physical here along the near board, right in front of the benches, which is what you expect between these two teams. You know, nothing taken for granted here, and that's one thing that Ryan Kanasowicz talked about, effort. You have to want to, you have to work hard, and I think that we're seeing the early returns on that skate this morning.
Draws in the right circle. Referee tonight is Tatu Kunto. The linesmen are Andrew Collins and Craig Peterson. As Grizzlies win the draw, Kolatarchi behind his net. He'll feed it to the near side from Martin, and he'll get it ahead over the head of Cam Strong. Idaho gets it in their own territory as the Steelheads backing out into their own zone. As they like to spread the ice and utilize their speed, they're a little bit quicker than they were last year as Canati gets it across to Dawson Bardo wearing number 51. Bardo, rink wide pass to Jade Miller, connects. Miller, right circle, shot, saved by Miner. Trent holds on with 16-12 left in the first as Idaho has taken 4 shots and the Grizzlies have taken 1 here so far. Draw is going to be in the Grizzly zone.
Well, and you're seeing that Idaho is really focused on getting rubber to the net. That's, you got to shoot the puck to score, and I know that sounds overly simplistic, but they are really focused on getting pucks to the net, and they're doing a great job so far.
Becker will take the draw against Penner, and the faceoff won by Penner and the Grizzlies. Thomas up ahead to Pfizer. Pfizer crosses center ice right wing and dumps it in. He gets around Bardo as Pfizer and Kanadi push each other as the puck ends up in the right point. Kyle Pounce, who had an assist last night, will roll it around the boards. And there's a big hit in the right point where it's taken by Miller. Miller gets hit by Penner and gets divorced in the puck. Taken back by Becker. They'll throw it to Bardo, who's in the near corner. Bardo shovels it ahead. It goes past Corey Thomas and into the Grizzlies zone. Kyle Pouncey will chase after it. He'll get it, and he'll throw it to center ice for Cutler. Brandon will dump it in as the Grizzlies make a full line change. 4.5 minutes into the game. Still no score. Idaho's outshot Utah 4-1 as Owen Hedrick, wearing number 7, will skeet down the middle. He'll cross center ice, and he'll fire a shot. Miner makes a save, and he'll give it to Victor Bartley as Hedrick took that shot from neutral ice. Bartley, as Zach Sekos fell down, he gets back to his feet. Bartley skates down the middle casually. He'll throw it out to center ice for Raby. It bounced off his stick. Goes back to Spanenberg. So he'll get it to Kudla. Now across to Hedrick as the Steelheads back in their own zone. 5 minutes in. As Kudla will nudge it ahead to center ice. Now back to Kudla from Ducharme. Ducharme in his Steelheads debut. Played in 2 games with Texas last year. Turnover. Kudla. I tried to feed it out in front to White. Utah got a stick in the way. Sekos throws it out to center ice looking for Wright. Pass was wide of the mark. Back to A.J. White wearing the C on his sweater. And he'll feed it across into the Steelhead zone. Owen Hedrick will get it as he's back in his right corner as he's being challenged by Cameron Wright. Across to Kudla. Back to Hedrick wearing number 7. As he's back at his goal line. Now behind Jake Kupski, who's wearing number 1. Last night it was Remy Poirier. Poirier and Adam Schill were each reassigned to the AHL's Texas Stars. Over to Colton Keller at center ice. Keller skates down the middle. Now he veers off to the right. He'll take a shot. Saved by Miner. And once again, the net gets dislodged. It doesn't look like it's in place all that well. They might need to do some repairs. That's the second time, and there hasn't been much leaning from Trent Miner, but it looks like the net is having a tough time staying in place there.
Yeah, and he hit it pretty hard the first time. With the, he's moving from his right to his left, and he hit that post and knocked it off. And now it looks like that they're looking for a drill, is my guess. There's the official with the drill. They need to drill the hole. So if you don't know how a hockey net is put on the ice, there are 2 posts that go in 2 holes, and the actual posts sit on top of those littler posts, so the goal posts, and it holds that net in place. But if Trent Miner runs into it, if a player comes flying into the post, the net will come loose, so to avoid injury. And sometimes it's not uncommon in hockey. Sometimes that net will come off, but you can see they're battling it. And frankly, the ice, I heard an Idaho player complaining about the ice tonight, so we'll maybe we watch that.
You know what, we're 5.5 minutes into it, and it kind of looks like it's already pretty chopped up down there. What do you see from ice level?
There's a lot of snow out here already. I think that's an excellent observation, Tyson. There's a lot of snow out here already. And I mean, certainly I'm standing right at the red line. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm standing right at the red line, so I mean, right at center ice. And it looks snowy already, which is kind of a surprise this early in the game.
It looks like the drill's been put in place and did its job, and we'll have the face-off in the right circle. Keaton Jamison will take it for Utah. He was a scratch last night back in there. Ty Pelton-Bice, who was the #1 star last night, will take the draw. Face-off won by Utah, skating from right to left as Fitz will bounce it off the skate, goes to Colatarchi. He looks for Neil Robinson. The puck bounced off his stick. Now it goes to center ice. Bice will bounce it off the near wall. Idaho steps over the offensive line as Domowski gets pushed by Jamison. Cross-ice pass to Register. He's got an A on his sweater. He gets hit by Fitz. As Fitz battling Jamison along with a couple Steelheads. Joey Colatarchi literally kicks it out to center ice, doing his best RSL impersonation. This goes back to Bryson Martin, and he'll feed it out across. Hey, after all the World Cup, I hear, this month. Robinson ahead to Fitz. It gets picked off by Brady. Now Robinson gets it back and dumps it in from just outside his offensive blue line. Steelheads have it deep in their own zone as both teams make a line change. 13:39 left in the first. Still no score. Idaho 5 shots to Utah's 1. Pass up ahead looking for Jade Miller, but it's incomplete, and icing is on the Steelheads. So the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw as both teams still looking for the first goal tonight.
Yeah, 13:34 to go. We're scoreless here at the Mav. But you know, one of the things that you can watch here, Tyson, and I don't know what your thought is, but you just don't feel like the Grizzlies have any momentum through the neutral zone, coming out of their defensive end to their offensive end now is
Victor Bartley pushed Zane Franklin. Franklin, if you hadn't seen him a couple years ago with Allen, Utah saw him a ton because they played the Americans 18 times. Franklin he's a guy that's going to get under your skin if you let him. He's a guy that he'll be the one that he loves to agitate and intimidate at times. He's that guy that's going to play 1,000 miles an hour.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Idaho wins the face-off. Register gets it out to center ice. Franklin gets to center ice. He'll lift it over the head of, he's going to lift it over the glass.
On the net, yeah.
And out of play. Face-off, it looks like it's going to be in the Idaho zone. 13:25 left in the first period. Time out on the ice will take one as well. As there's no score here at Maverik Center on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
13:25 left in the first. No score. Grizzlies and the Steelheads. As Utah wins the faceoff, McDonald up ahead to Penner. He tried to dump it in from the offensive blue line. Fanned on it. Goes back out to center ice as Misiak steps over the line and gets poked away by Bartley. Now it goes into the Utah corner. Bartley ahead to Walker. Walker gets hit by Miller. Walker will throw it out to the neutral ice. Penner throws it to the Steelheads blue line where it's taken back by Idaho. Dawson Bardo back in his own zone. Will skate north-south. Right wing crosses center ice. Now will gain the line. Right point shot. Glove saved by Minor, but the whistle blows. The Steelheads are offside.
Franklin and Johnny Walker.
Those two really aren't that different as hockey players in terms of getting under the opposing player's skin. So I imagine those two will get acquainted with each other here in the next two nights.
Johnny Walker's asked him twice, and Franklin said no. So, I mean, you got to play. And if you want to play that way, sometimes you got to say yes, and he won't right now.
Grizzlies cross center ice. Pouncey will try to dump it in. It's cut off by Kubla as the Steelheads out to neutral ice. Dumping in. No icing is with good speed is Ducharme. Justin's his first name. He'll skate around the net, being shadowed by Pouncey. Ducharme gets hit by Pouncey. Gets over to Becker. Becker will skate towards the left point. Now dropping off for Kubla, who gets around Cameron Wright. Gets poked by Sekos, who takes the puck. He'll nudge it ahead, but stays in the Grizzlies zone. Becker over to Hedrick. Now to the left circle. Shot. Saved by Minor, and Trent ends up holding on as it bounced off his pad, flipped into the air, and he was able to catch it about shoulder high and holds on as he makes his sixth save of the game. 12:22 left in the first, and they're still looking for that game's first goal.
Yeah, well, this game is these second and third lines are going after each other, and you know, Canati's a guy that you're seeing throw it around quite a bit. Obviously Franklin's throwing it around quite a bit. There's going to be some guys in the box here. I mean, the Rogers and Russell penalty box is not going to be empty for long, let's be honest.
Been 5-on-5 this entire time. We'll see when that first penalty will come aboard as Idaho wins the face-off. Left point shot, saved by Minor. That was taken by Kubla, and that had some velocity on it, and Jack Becker was battling in front of the net with Keaton Jamison. Minor was able to make a nice save there.
A lot of stick work for Idaho. Like a lot of, you know, hey, I'm going to hit you on the knee with the stick. Like, they're stirring the pot. And, you know, the Grizzlies got to answer that.
Idaho's got good size to go along with improved speed this year. And I think that's really the addition of Corey Thomas is going to be big. Thomas last year got in a fight with Austin Crosley and held his own pretty well. Crosley, one of the better fighters in the league, but Thomas held his own pretty well in the bout late in the regular season here at Maverik Center. Drive won by Utah as Bryson Martin skates around his own net. Martin will nudge it ahead, pass behind Jamison as it rolls towards the Grizzlies bench. Ducharme gets hit by Jamison, but Ducharme keeps battling. He has the puck. He'll throw it to Becker. Becker on the left side steps over the blue line. He'll feed it to the right side for Wade Murphy. Murphy tries to get it out in front, and it goes wide. Colatarchi lays on Minor penalty, and it's going to be on Utah. And the Steelheads score. Minor was trying to get back to his feet as Colatarchi was laying on him. And by the time he got back to his feet, puck ended up in the back of the net. As the Steelheads have taken a 1-0 lead on a delayed penalty. Patrick Cudless scored a goal last night. It looks like Cudless picked up his 4th of the year.
How did he get that in? How did that go in? Because we need to see a replay on that. And let's see how this puck actually ends up in the net.
Cudless was just at the goal line, just kind of snuck it in as Minor was trying to get back to his feet.
Did he kick it? They're going to review this.
They're going to review it.
And credit where credit's due. Cam Wright was asking if he could go talk about it. He went and talked about it, and now they're looking at it. It's under review. I'm trying to see if I didn't see if he kicked it or not. But it looked like I mean, I don't know how he would have gotten that in with his stick. I mean, Minor was on his derriere, and Bryson Martin was also laying on the far post from the offender. He had to have kicked it in.
Joey Colatarchi looked like he was right on top of Minor. Both guys were trying to get back to her feet.
Maybe it was Cola, yeah.
We saw one replay. I'm not sure if we're going to see another one. But it did look like there was some kind of unorthodox action with a foot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And to Cam Wright's credit, he saw it first, and then on that replay, I think I agree with Cam.
So we're looking it over right now. 11:51 left in the first period. Idaho believes they've scored their first goal tonight, but they're looking it over. Steelheads have outshot the Grizzlies 10-1. Utah's allowed 81 shots over the last 2 games.
Here's the replay, Tice. That is Colatarchi laying down. And let's see what he does there. You can't see it. I don't know that there's enough for them to overturn a goal.
But there was something where there was some movement of his leg that kind of looked like a kicking motion.
Yeah, that's what I saw. But we'll see. I mean, with Colatarchi laying there, his body actually, as much as that effort's outstanding, his body's actually, I think, blocking the possibility here, unless there's another angle that they're seeing. And we are in a video replay here, presented by Rogers and Russell, and let's see what the official is going to say. He is now talking to the off-ice officials at the red line, and we'll.
Unless maybe they've changed. Well, let's see what they've been talking about for a little bit. No goal.
No goal.
They say no goal.
Wow, Cam Wright absolutely got it right. Credit to Cam Wright, because he was yelling at Coach Kanasowicz. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, there was a kicking
right
motion.
There. Oh, yeah, clearly. That's a great spot. That's a great spot.
And because Minor was trying to get back to his feet, it was tough for him to find a way to locate the puck. Now, remember, that was not a delayed penalty, so Colatarchi's penalty will now be served 2 minutes for hooking. That would have been a delayed penalty goal, which would have, taken away the Colatarchi penalty, but he's now in the box. 2 minutes for hooking, and even though the score is still 0-0, Colatarchi is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for hooking, 8:09 in. Steelheads are on the power play for the first time tonight. 22.9% on the power play this year is Idaho. Grizzlies penalty kill is 78.4%.
You're just going to let the disco light show go? I don't that caught us all down here by surprise. The lights started flashing like it was a disco. I'm not sure what happened, but who knows? They're all back on. And now we are ready to rock and roll. 11:51 to go. Utah Grizzlies with a big penalty kill here, Tyson.
And that's in the Grizzlies office after the game. We got a disco ball and we're going to have a good time. I thought it was after the game, though, not the middle of the first period. Secos take the face-off against A.J. White in the left circle. Idaho wins the draw. We're scoreless about 8 minutes in. And good poke check by Connor McDonald as he poked it away from Ducharme. And it goes out to center ice. Now Idaho will back it out into their own zone. It's those little things that Connor McDonald does so well.
Yes.
Darren Brady crosses center ice, left wing pass to Register. He dumps it in. Ducharme racing after it with McDonald. They both collide behind the net. Now Register will throw it out to the left point for Brady. Brady back to Register. It glanced off the stick and rolls to Victor Bartley. And the former NHLer tried to clear it out. Good keep by Register. Now to Spandenbergs. He feeds it up top, but nobody was home in the high slot. Brady was at neutral ice hanging out. And the Grizzlies will get it with Victor Bartley. He'll throw it from blue line to right. And Wright will dump it in all the way as Utah makes a full line change.
Good composure by the Grizzlies there. Victor Bartley with 2 nice clearances.
Brady over to White. He crosses center ice. Gets it poked away. Now over to Domowski. Domowski gets it poked by Martin. It stays in the zone as Hedrick gets it over to Domowski. Back to the corner for White. White over on the right side near the boards. Over to Hedrick. He gets it up top for Kudla. Kudla to Register. Back to Kudla. Idaho's going with 3 defensemen on this power play shift as Hedrick over to Domowski. Right circle. Takes a shot. Blocked by Martin. Puck bounces to the high slot. Register over to Hedrick. Now to Kudla. He tried to feed it to Domowski in the right circle. Now Domowski gets it. Took a shot but didn't get much on it. And the puck glided towards the left corner. Now the Grizzlies carry it out to center ice. Penner will step in 1-on-2. Right side shot. Saved by Kupski. Kupski will keep the play moving as the referee didn't blow the whistle. Probably could have there at that point. As Keller to the right side gets taken away by Cameron Wright and clears it back deep into the Steelhead zone.
Excellent forechecking. Cam Wright is physically built to be a penalty killer.
Cam Wright takes it away as he's over to the right side. He gets it poked by Idaho. Now Sekos left side takes it. He'll take a shot. Saved by Kupski. I don't know how he made that stop. As Sekos tried to go low on Kupski. Somehow Kupski was able to corral him with his ankle and hold on.
That was an incredible shift by Cam Wright. And I think you're exactly right. I don't know how Kupski made that save. He's an excellent goaltender. And I think you're seeing the depth that's in this, that's in this league. Tyson, now it is one of the worst kept secrets in the league now. There is excellent goaltending. That is a great play. But you got to give a lot of credit there to Cam Wright for the forecheck, because he really did a nice job creating that opportunity for Zekos.
7 seconds left in the Steelheads power play, but Utah arguably has the best chance of the power play. Scotland will throw it to neutral ice. Idaho across the center. Misiak trying to get over to Franklin. He gets poked away. Grizzlies are back at full strength. Kolatarchi initially joins the play. Now he'll come off as Cutler dumps it in. As Idaho skating from left to right, gets it right side, poked away by Walker. On to Pfizer, but he couldn't handle it. Now Hedrick around the net, over to Franklin. Zane Franklin to the right side, throws it ahead from Misiak, who's got good speed. He stops in the right corner, gets hit by Martin, and gets divorced from the puck. As Walker to the right side, across to Cutler off the boards. He crosses center. Cutler trying to locate it. Now he does. He'll throw it back to Martin. Bryson Martin back in his own zone. Will feed it to center ice for Cutler on the left side. Cutler finds Pfizer cutting down the middle. Pfizer tries to center it to Walker. Walker with a shot that goes wide as he was being challenged by Owen Hedrick. Kolatarchi gets blasted to the boards by Miller. And Idaho gets it out to center ice where it's taken back by Robinson, who dumps it in. Robinson was number 22 last year. He's number 27 this year. Robinson gets over to Corey Thomas. He'll take a shot. That one goes wide. Right side, Fitz with a shot. Saved by Kupski. And Keaton Jamison battling out there looking for a rebound. And Jamison and Nick Canati collide. They exchange some nouns, adjectives, and verbs, and then the linesman step in and says, let's cease and desist before we have to send either guy to the penalty box.
But that's not very nice. It's Keaton Jamison's birthday. Canati was saying happy birthday.
That's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Happy birthday, Keaton. Giving him a hug, and the linesman said, well, guys.
Here's a 5-finger sandwich for your birthday.
Zach Sekos just celebrated a birthday 3 days ago, and 5 days ago, Andrew Nilsson celebrated a birthday. Nilsson turned 26. He's not in the Grizzlies lineup tonight. Hopefully he won't be out too long as Idaho wins the faceoff in their own zone. As the Steelheads get it out to center ice, passes wide of Becker as Corey Thomas gets it. Thomas was in camp with Idaho this year. He'll thread to center ice. It's picked off by Murphy. Murphy dumps it in. He gets hit by Thomas. As the Steelheads in the offensive zone dump it to the right side. Becker collides with Kolatarchi. Kola throws it out over the far wing boards. Now the Steelheads back in their own zone gets it. Brady out to center ice for Murphy. He'll nudge it ahead to Becker, who steps over the blue line. Becker throws it to the corner. Bounced off the stick of Bartley. Bartley over towards Robinson. He overskated the puck. Becker, as he's got good size at 6'4". Over to Brady on the right side. He'll get it across to Register. Register skates towards the left circle. Take a shot. On it goes high off the glass. Stays in play along the near wall as Fitz tried to dump it ahead. It goes out to center ice. Now Idaho backing out into their own zone. Steelheads have outshot the Grizzlies 10-4. Still no score as we're now less than 8 minutes left in the first period. Murphy, right point shot. Blocker saved by Miner as the puck flies into the air and stops in the left corner. As Ducharme holds up Utah. Now another Grizzly gets it. And they'll cross center ice. It's Cameron Wright. Wright steps over the line. Right side, he swung and missed. Now Sekos with a shot, and it rolls on to Kupski as he didn't get all of it. And the Idaho goaltender covers up as he has stopped all 5 he has seen. Trent Miner has stopped all 11 on the Utah side.
Yeah, again, this has been a really, really competitive period, but you're getting outshot 11-5. I still am waiting for that speed, that tenacity coming through the neutral zone. That's the one thing that's missing from this Grizzlies offense right now.
Sekos has had some good shifts recently. He's taken the face off. Draw one by Idaho. His own Hedrick around the net as he's being challenged by Raby. As Hedrick goes out to center ice, it glances off a stick. A lot of deflections here early on into this game. Right at center ice, dumps it in. Kupski wearing number 1 behind the net. So he'll give it over to Hedrick. He'll throw a right wing pass to Spanenbergs. Over to White, back to Spanenbergs, but the pass is wide of him. Martin over to Colatarchi, now to Sekos. Sekos crosses center ice, right wing, and he'll backhand it into the zone as it bounces off the end wall. As Utah gets boxed out by Idaho. Still at Spanenbergs. We'll throw it ahead to A.J. White. White crosses center ice 2-on-2, trying to get it to Domowski. Bounces off a Bartley stick. Now White gets it back on the right side. He'll throw it over to Hedrick on the left side at the point. Across to Bardo wearing number 41, or 51, Bardo. Around the net, he's now on the left side. I try to get to Spanenbergs. Too many Grizzlies in front. Spanenbergs can't get a shot off. Raby gets it. Raby out to neutralize, gets it poked away by Spanenbergs with his long stick. Spanenbergs is off the ice as Domowski's at neutralize. He'll cross center on the right wing. Domowski will gain the line. We'll throw it to Keller. On the right side, shot saved by Miner. Now it's out in front, a lot of bodies, and Trent is covered up. Great job by the Grizzlies, boxing out Domowski and company as Utah, with that rebound control when Trent Miner did allow one there. Grizzlies had 4 guys out in front of him making sure they boxed him out.
Well, that's what we talked about. Ryan Kanasowicz mentioned it in the pregame. You got to have net front control, and I think that right there is that commitment that we talked about. 6:34 to go. No score here in the first period at the Maverik Center.
Ty Pelton-Bice will take the draw for Idaho against Tyler Penner. Idaho wins the draw. Domowski's shot saved by Miner. Domowski's the guy to watch out for. He's got 9 goals already this season. He had 5 against Utah in a single game last year. Bardo across to Canati. I tried to feed it out in front to Domowski. It bounced off a stick and flew high into the air. And it goes out of play off the protective netting with 6:21 left in the first.
Boy, that was a dangerous opportunity, and you just have to really... Listen, man, and again, I don't mean to keep talking about Idaho, but you really have to give them credit for getting pucks to the net. I mean, they got 12 shots now, and it's a commitment. I mean, it's easy not to shoot the puck. I mean, a lot of guys want to play with it and make the spectacular play. You don't see that from Idaho. They just get rubber to the net,
Idaho averages 35.8 shots per game this season. Wow. Utah wins the faceoff. Colatarchi will bounce it off the glass. Canati kept it in. He gets hit by Jamison, and Colatarchi will bounce it out to center ice. Idaho regathers it as they'll throw it out to the Utah blue line. It's picked off by Martin. Now Cam Strong across to Colatarchi. Pull it out to center ice, but the pass is wide as it looked like he was looking for Keaton Jamison at center ice, but the pass was incomplete. It's icing on the Grizzlies.
Tyson, did you see that hit?
That was a big-time hit.
Keaton Jamison just absolutely dialed up Nick Canati, and he got every inch of him right there.
Players that look stronger from one year to the next. Looks like Jamison, when I saw him at training camp, looked like he was stronger than what I saw at the end of last season.
And in great condition. And by the way, he was a healthy scratch last night, and now he's playing with some fire tonight.
Jamison replaces Simeone in the lineup. Simeone played last night and had an assist as the puck rolls along the far wing boards of the Grizzlies zone. Becker battling in the corner. Darren Brady gets pushed by Fitz. And the battle is won by, still kind of battling. It's Becker in the corner, throws it up top, and left point shot that goes wide. That was taken by Misiak. Idaho gets to Brady. He's on the left side, just outside the circle. Centers it to Murphy. He'll take a righty shot, and that's blocked by Colatarchi. Taken by Jamison. He'll carry it out of the zone. Jamison neutralized, nudges ahead to Cam Shot. Big time hit delivered by Register on Jamison. And now it looks like a Grizzlies slow to get up, and that's Cam Strong as he's going to limp towards the bench. Puck is in the Grizzlies zone. Cameron Wright out to neutralize. Over to Sekos. 3-on-2. Sekos over to Wright. He'll take a righty shot. On it, glanced off the stick of Hedrick and flies out of play. Good chance there by Cameron Wright, but Owen Hedrick was able to get a stick in the way. Still no score at Maverik Center. 5:13 left in the first. You're listening to Utah Grizzlies Hockey, presented by Mountain Land Supply Company.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
5:13 left in the first period, no score. Idaho's outshot Utah 12-5. First intermission, we'll go over a recap of the period and some scores from around the league. And for the first time this season, the glue guy at Press Row, Tim Broussard, will join us, and we'll get his thoughts on both goaltenders. And it's great to have Tim Broussard here on Press Row taking pictures. He's taking some great pictures, a lot of them featured on the official ECHL website as well as the Grizzlies website. As Utah wins the offensive zone draw, Bartley over to McDonald, right side, shot gets blocked as Idaho gets it in the left side. And they'll throw it ahead for Franklin. He'll nudge it out to center ice where it's taken back by McDonald. Now Bartley for Utah back in his own zone. We'll throw it across to McDonald. Connor, rink wide pass to right. He's in Steelheads territory, tries to throw it to the corner. It's stuck by Hedrick, who got it about chest high. And this goes out to center ice. Deflects off a Ducharme stick. Set goes back in his own zone, gets it. And he'll throw it ahead. Turnover. St. Franklin's got a breakaway down the middle. Take a shot. Saved by Miner. What a stop by Trent as he bails out Utah after a turnover. Franklin skated in. He had all the time in the world. But Trent Miner makes the biggest stop of the game.
Yeah, that's one of those character stops right there where you really, Franklin cannot score there. Sorry, man. Like, that's just not that's not good. And Trent Miner absolutely made the save. Did his job. You love that bailout right there.
White will take the face-off on the right side. Speaking about teasing intermission, we'll talk with Tim Broussard about that stop and what it meant. As Bardo on the right point takes a shot. Got redirected by a stick and goes over the crossbar off the end wall. Svanenberg's over to White. White looks to center it, kicked off the stick of Cole Tarchi out to the right point. Bardo keeps it in. Over to Canati, left side shot. Gets blocked by White, who is about 5 feet in front of Miner. White gets hit by Cutler. Skating over there is Domowski. He gets held up by Kolatarchi as Cutler battling along the boards. Pfizer surveying. Now the puck ends up back with Utah's Cutler in the corner. Throws to Pfizer. He's along the far side. Utah spreads the ice. Pfizer will feed it out to the left side for Cutler. Cutler crosses center ice, and Brandon will dump it in. Pfizer in the corner has to go past him, and it nudges along the far wing boards. It's Cutler. Will throw it across to Pouncey. Right side shot. Saved by Kupski. He holds on with 3:50 left in the first.
Yeah, and you're seeing two goaltenders that are very physically gifted. And I think you're seeing some really good opportunities for both sides, but there's not a lot of rebounds here. And when the Grizzlies did give up that rebound, you had four guys right in front to clear it and allow Trent Miner to cover on one of them and clear the other.
Jamison will take the face-off. He's got Johnny Walker to his left. Here late in the first period, still looking for the game's first goal. Idaho wins the draw. They've won 2 out of the 3 games against Utah here in the season series. They'll meet 18 times during the regular year. As Fitz will dump it in, but he dumped it in from Grizzlies territory, but no icing as Walker chases after it. She gets spun around by Register in the corner. Walker over to Jamison. Jamison and Walker collide. Now the Steelheads get it. They cross center ice. Idaho's Misiak tried to dump it in, didn't get all the way. Now it goes out to center ice for Walker. Walker will feed it across to Dylan Fitz. Fitz in the slot. Shot. Saved by Kupski. Rebound out to Walker as Kupski didn't get it cleanly, but Idaho gets the puck. Now we got a fight. Johnny Walker and Colton Keller. As those guys hold each other up and neutral ice. Both guys bear hugging each other. Now Walker gets in a right. And Keller drags down Johnny Walker to the ice.
Boy, Colton Keller wanted nothing to do with Johnny Walker there. He immediately hung on. He grabbed the back of Johnny's jersey with both hands, one from the right, one from the left. He didn't want to go. And this is that situation that we've been talking about. As you knew that this was just a matter of time, that this was coming. There's been several big hits on both sides.
but that's not a fight. And the interesting thing is Johnny was ready, and Keller was not, and Keller wanted nothing to do with it. Watching on this beautiful new Jumbotron over the center ice, you could see Keller's just hanging on for dear life. He's not trying to throw, he's not trying to do anything, and eventually he just waited for Johnny to throw and then tackled him.
It was almost like Walker was able to get in one right, and then Keller knew that at that point he was able to drag Walker to the ice.
That's right. Exactly right.
Drawn's going to be at center ice. 3:14 left in the first. Still no score. Idaho has outshot Utah 11-7, but I remember it was 10-1 on the shots at one point. So Utah does have 6 of the last 7 shots taken in this game. As the puck is in the right corner, Raby gets hit as it's in the Grizzlies zone. Now it's taken by Sekos, back to Raby, back to Sekos. So throw it to Steelheads territory. Wright has it bounce off his stick. No, it goes back to the Utah blue line. Bartley will feed it out to neutralize for Raby. Raby fires it towards the Grizzlies bench. It stays in play. Everybody on the Grizzlies bench was flinching there as it goes out to center ice. Idaho gets it. Becker, 1-on-3, carries it in as he'll veer off to the left. Now get it to Register. Skates towards the left circle. Register in. Got it poked away by Bartley. Now left wing shot saved by Miner. Rebound goes out to Utah. McDonald battling with Becker. Becker on the right side. Spins it around the boards. As Brady in the left corner, I tried to feed it to the point, but Ducharme wasn't there.
Well, that puck was out of play. It hit Cutler right in the face.
As Ducharme throws it out to center ice, Murphy dumps it in. Kolatarchi back in his own zone, casually gets it. 2:10 and counting left in the first, still no score. As Bryson Martin will throw it out to the right side. The pass connects. Taryn Pfizer will skate in. I look to center it to Cutler, and the pass goes wide. The Victoria Royals teammates almost combined for Utah's first goal. Grizzlies back in their own zone. Kolatarchi across to Martin. Back to Kolatarchi. Less than 2 minutes left in the period. Kolatarchi back to Martin. He'll throw it out to center ice for Pfizer. Glanced off his stick. Pass out to center ice. Penner played it with a high stick, and he'll just touch up the puck as A.J. White was waiting for Penner to touch it. We could have been sitting here for 2 minutes waiting for somebody to touch the puck. Penner eventually did. Steelheads will have an offensive zone draw.
That was really close, and we talked about it a little bit leading up to opening faceoff. Just waiting for Cutler to get his first, and you feel like once he gets one, Tyson, he's going to get a flood of them because he plays with so much speed and almost, I want to say, anger in the way that he skates. Really an intentionally physical skater, Brandon Cutler.
We'll see if the Grizzlies can get some momentum heading into the locker room. Still no score, but the Grizzlies have had some offensive zone time as of late. Bartley wins the face-off. They'll throw it over to Fitz at center ice, and he'll fly it into the left corner as it hits off the boards on one hop. And puck ends up going back to White. He'll nudge it to Spanenbergs. 2-on-3. Spanenbergs gains the line, throws to the left point. Shot, save, rebound, shot. And Miner made that save as well. Spanenbergs was looking for the second attempt. McDonald with the puck. He'll skate down the middle. They'll throw it to Bartley in the left side. He'll cross center ice. He'll lift it high into the air as it bounces off the end wall on one hop. Bartley skates towards the corner and gets it. He'll bounce it off of Hedrick, and it goes to Spanenbergs. Now to the left side, Idaho gathers it as both teams spread the ice. Utah makes a line change. It's Patrick Kudlow. They'll feed a right wing pass to Franklin. Franklin steps over the blue line, and he'll fire it over to the left corner. Miller and Raby along the far wall, taken back by Utah's Sekos. Turnover. Franklin skates towards the right side. I look to feed it out in front to Miller. Pass went over a stick. Miller to the left side. Gets taken away by Raby. Raby out to center ice, looking for Sekos, but a nudge bounced off his stick. And he goes out to Franklin. He'll drop it off for Miller. Jade Miller to the right side. I look to center it. Martin got a stick in the way. As the puck ends up in the left corner, Kolatarchi will get it to right. 30 seconds left in the period. Right crosses center ice, 2-on-3. Brady cut him off at neutral ice. Now it's taken by Sekos over to Raby. Dakota gets around Miller, but couldn't get around Register. Poked it back out to center ice. Martin dumps it back in as it rolls around the wall. Brady gets it wearing number 23. He's got an A on his sweater. And the other assistant captain is Matt Register. The captain's A.J. White. As Idaho's still in their own zone. 7 seconds left in the first. Register behind his net. Don't throw it into the seats there like he did 2 years ago. He's going to hold on to it. And time runs out on both teams in the first period. Idaho outshot Utah 12-7, but the shot edge was 10-1 in Idaho's favor about 6 or 7 minutes in. No score, and hard to really say it really had an edge in that period, although we're still looking for that game's first goal. Trent Miner's biggest stop was a breakaway that St. Franklin had on a Grizzlies turnover. Jake Kupski made a nice stop on a Zach Sekos shot from the left side. as in the first period as well. Probably the best stop he made.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing is a much more evenly matched contest. And what I think the other thing that you could say here is goaltending is obviously critical, but the saves that you're seeing from Trent Miner are positional saves. He's putting himself in the right position to get hit with the puck. And I know a lot of people probably don't believe it, but 90% of being a great goaltender is making sure that you're in the right spot, making sure you don't come off the post, that when you vacate those posts, that's when you tend to get those easy goals that really are backbreakers.
When we come back, we'll recap the first period. We'll also talk with our good friend Tim Broussard in the second segment of Intermission. As we got no score, Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report is coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
First intermission here at Maverik Center. No score between the Grizzlies and the Steelheads. Face-off battle is pretty even. Idaho won that 12-11. Short-handed shots, Utah had 2, Idaho had none. Utah probably had the best chance on Idaho's power play. Both teams had 10 hits. Grizzlies 3 giveaways, Idaho had 4. And that was a pretty interesting first period. Johnny Walker and Colton Keller dropped the gloves. Each got 5 minutes for fighting, 16:46 in. Joey Coatarchi got a hooking minor, 8:09 in, and that's probably the most interesting sequence in the first period as Patrick Kubla was over on the left side. Trent Miner was down. He was trying to get back to his feet. Coatarchi was laying on top of him for a couple seconds. And Kubla, kind of in a tough angle, was able to kick the puck in. Problem is, he literally kicked the puck in, and the official spotted it. Cam Wright said, hey, we got to check that thing out. They went to video replay and determined it was no goal. That kept it a scoreless game, and I think from that point on, the Grizzlies had a little bit of momentum. Kupski made a couple nice saves, one in particular on Zach Sekos. There was a turnover there where Zane Franklin had a breakaway as he just skated down the middle, and Miter made a big stop there. It's a matchup of good goaltenders, and because of that, goals are going to be at a premium tonight. And Monty, it's hard to really say who had an edge in that first period. All I know is that this second period is going to be critical into seeing who's going to break the deadlock.
Well, and I also think that there's something to be said for the idea that the Grizzlies have to get back to playing the best version of themselves. Like, you have to, in my opinion, find a way to play more like you did in the second half of the first period, which is fast hockey. And there's just no reason to be plodding and methodical when you have as much speed as the Grizzlies do. And I mean, it's not hard to figure out what exactly the Idaho Steelheads are doing. The Idaho Steelheads are absolutely, thank you, Grisby, throwing me a T-shirt that I can give to somebody. They're absolutely trying to be more physical with the Utah Grizzlies. And that, to me, is the thing that, there you go, little buddy. I just threw a T-shirt to a kid. Makes me feel good about my soul. But anyway, the point is the Idaho Steelheads are trying to be more physical. They are trying to take physical advantage of the Grizzlies. To avoid that, I think you got to move the puck more effectively. I think you have to get on your horse and get through the neutral zone quickly. And I think you shoot everything you can shoot, Tyson. I don't think you hesitate. I think you get aggressive with the shot, and let's see what happens, because the one thing that I think we both agree on is Kupski has not given you second chance opportunities.
Yeah. Dylan Fitz had 19 shots in his last 3 games coming into play tonight. He's got 2 shots in the first period. That's why he was my pick to click, because he has been one of those guys that has been aggressive in getting his shot off, either from the left circle, but really the majority of his shots come from the right side. I thought Fitz had a good first period. Cameron Wright, I thought was outstanding in the first period. There was one there where he could have had a good look, and then there was one he did have a good look, and it bounced off of Hedrick's stick. Otherwise, that would have been a great chance on Kupski. Cameron Wright, over his last 6 games coming into play tonight, has 2 goals and 6 assists, and a lot of his goals have been clutch. In fact, all 3 of his goals this season have been clutches. They've all been game winners. And so I thought Wright played a good first period. Sekos, Penner, and Pouncey each had 1 shot as well. And for Idaho, it was a pretty balanced attack. Murphy, Domowski, Brady, Keller, and Cutler each had 2 shots. And so it was a pretty evenly played first period.
I would agree with that. I think obviously Idaho came out, with a little more energy, if you will. But I think the Grizzlies answered the bell. That big hit by Register on Keaton Jamison in front of the bench here did not go unrecognized. That was a massive collision. And I would expect a lot more of that. I mean, who are we kidding? These 2 teams don't like each other. I mean, it's Idaho, it's Utah, it's what you would expect. You would expect nothing less. But at some point, the Grizzlies have to break through, and all this character stuff and all the things you're doing, the little things you're doing, you got to score goals. That's how you win games in hockey. Not to be the master of the obvious, but you got to score goals if you're going to win games.
One other game involving a Mountain Division team tonight. 7 minutes to go in the third period. Cincinnati leads Allen 3-1. That game played at Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati, which is right next to Great American Ballpark. Allen is 4-4-1 this season. Cincinnati's off to a fast start. They're 7-1, 0-1. And when you have an evenly played first period, you always think about that next 20 minutes, and really you think about that next 5 minutes. Who's going to break that deadlock? And I think for Utah, it's just a matter, as you mentioned, getting a lot of shots on Kupski, making sure that, the Idaho defensemen, they're playing on their heels. You got to be the aggressor there offensively, and I think that's where Utah is going to get their first goal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Just shoot the puck, because the one thing that I think we've seen Idaho do, and Idaho's a really good hockey club. I mean, that's a very good team. The one thing we're seeing them do is shoot the puck a lot, and they're shooting it low. They're not going to let you just catch the puck. They're going to shoot it at your pads. They're going to try and get rebounds and pass it off the pads. And frankly, it is a really effective way to score goals in this league, because you have a lot of traffic in front of the net. There's a lot of greasy goals scored in the ECHL. And that's why guys like Trent Miner that you're seeing be in the right position, be in the right place at the right time, staying on the post, moving well, moving in control. I think those things are what separates Trent Miner from a lot of other guys, which is why he's on an NHL deal.
Former 7th-round pick of the Colorado Avalanche back in 2019. Now that period was one of Trent's best this season in terms of what he was able to do in that Franklin breakaway. Easily could have been 1-0, and Trent was able to close the door on Franklin.
That's not optional. That save is, and Franklin has been a guy that's an instigator. I was talking to one of the Grizzlies this morning after skate, talking about how he's always grabbing a jersey. He's always pulling on a pant leg. He's always got a forearm for your back. Like, he's that guy. And tonight there's been a lot of language down here. And if he puts that puck in the net, if he beats Trent Miner there, it's a massive shift. It's 1 goal, but it's a massive shift in momentum. And instead, what did it do? It gave the Grizzlies a lift. It gave them a little bit of fire to get back down the ice.
No score, first intermission. Grizzlies and the Steelheads. Let's get to some scores from around the world of sports on this Friday night. Friday's usually a lighter night in the NHL. We'll talk with Tim Broussard in a couple minutes once we spot him. There's actually only 1 game in the NHL tonight, and it's going to start at 8 o'clock here in a few minutes. The LA Kings are at the Vancouver Canucks. No top 25 college football games in action, but it does look like South Florida, who's 1-9 this season, leads Tulsa 13-7. That game early second quarter. And coming up, or a game that should be starting here soon, San Diego State is at New Mexico. When we come back in 30 seconds, we'll talk with Tim Broussard and get his thoughts on both goaltenders. This is the Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Back at Maverik Center, first intermission, no score. Idaho outshot Utah 13-7 as we're joined for the first time this season by Tim Broussard, Grizzlies director of photography, director of analyst. We'll just call him the director of everything, because after all, somebody's got to be the director of something. And Tim, I thought it was interesting. I know you probably made a note of it. Idaho had outshot Utah about 10-1 early in the contest. Then the Grizzlies kind of battled back and took the majority of the shots in the second half of the period.
Yeah, that first half of the first period just seemed like we were disconnected, and they were snapping on their passes, and they were getting into our lanes and turning our offensive opportunities against into their opportunities for. We were really struggling to get any kind of pace or establish any momentum at all.
How about the pucks that are just bouncing off the sticks? I mean, if I had $1 for every time I saw a puck bounce off a stick in the first period, or even those wide passes, I'd probably be a millionaire by now.
And I put on here the Grizzlies really need to clean up their act, and they need to clean up the passing and not give Idaho the opportunity to read that pass and get their sticks or body parts or whatever else in the way, because they just seem to have that little bit of step ahead that we're just not there right now. And we have two instances I caught on photos that we're running into each other down low. We're not on the same page. We seem to be cutting in at the same time. Don't know what's happening there, but we got to clean that up between the passing and the reads on the play. I think we're kind of our own worst enemy right now.
I think Idaho, it's kind of interesting to see their attack and the way they start their attack, where it seems like both defensemen, they're pretty patient in their own zone, working it back and forth, and then getting that outlet pass to center ice. And then I think their whole goal is to try to make sure that they get into the offensive zone with momentum. You don't see them dump it in nearly as much as some of the other clubs. What have you seen from the Steelheads attack and how they get going?
Absolutely. Their transition game is killer. These guys are making instinctive passes to where their players should be, and they're anticipating and having the faith of putting that puck onto the point, and then that player skating into it with momentum. That is really hard to defend when you're on your heels and a player's coming in and he doesn't have the point or the puck, so you really can't challenge him too hard. And by the time he gets it, he's behind you or he's got to step on you. And that's really, really hard to defend.
Have you gotten a good read on the Steelheads defense, from what you've seen?
Yeah, for the Steelheads attack, they're really starting out and working it wide and pushing everything out to the side. Then they're collapsing the wings first and then the center second. And honestly, we're not picking up our assignments as we're kind of late to need on these. So we're going to have to do a little bit better read and have our defense kind of anticipate a little bit more, have the centermen come in and help out till we can shore up that problem, because some of Idaho's best opportunities have come in on that kind of that wings first, center second, and then we're not picking up a man that is coming in free.
Good goaltending matchup between Kupski and Miner. What'd you see from both goalies?
I saw Kupski drawing color pages all throughout the first half of the first period. He was just sitting back and getting a read, while Trent Miner's, getting not only his pre-workout but his re-workout. And so Trent Miner's doing really good. He's seeing the puck in front of him. He's getting his read. He's keeping that pace. He had that collision down low, and I was a little bit worried because it looked like he came back up with a little bit like he had a pause on his right leg, but that's since gone away. But I like the idea of, okay, we corrected the ship and later in the second half of that first period, and we were able to generate some activity for Kupski, and now he's got to be on his best behavior rather than sit back and just watch the rest of the game.
So how do the Grizzlies break through here in the second period? Because it kind of feels like a deadlock right now.
Yes, they got to stay to their game plan. They got to stick to the game plan, learn it if they don't have it figured out, and do that. Kanasowicz has got it down. You just have to believe in the system, work the system, stay with the system, and the matchup between the two coaches is awesome. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the second.
It seems like we always have glue guys every year from the Grizzlies. Dylan Fitz is one of those glue guys. You've been our glue guy for years. Thanks for stopping by here. We'll talk to you second intermission.
Appreciate it, Tyson.
That's Tim Broussard. When we come back, Monty and I will have the second period as we're scoreless here at Maverik Center on Pooch on the Pond. I see a ton of dogs in attendance over there, section 107, 108, 109. A lot of dogs in attendance, and we got a good crowd on a Friday night. We're back with the second period coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Utah Operation Lifesaver.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Now we'll start second period action here shortly from that Maverik Center. Grizzlies and the Steelheads no score. Both teams have bounced to head back on the ice. It's Pooch on the pond. We see a lot of dogs here in sections 107, 108, 109. And we got a really good Friday night crowd that's filed in here. Don't forget, it's also an AFCU Friday, which is every Friday Grizzlies home game, where tickets start at just $8 and you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverik Center box office. Next AFCU Friday will be next Friday. The series opener against the Trois Rivières Lions. And that'll be an interesting series. First ever meeting between the Grizzlies and the Lions. I know my family wants to see some new opponents at Maverik Center, and they'll be able to see the Lions. The Grizzlies are headed on the ice to start second period action. The Steelheads, as well as we had a good goaltending matchup between Kupski of Idaho and Trent Miner for the Grizzlies. Miner had a lot of success against Idaho last year. Kupski's had some success against Utah in the past as well. Monty is on the bench, and Monty, how are the Grizzlies going to break this deadlock here in the second period?
Well, I think you got to shoot more, and I think that Jake Kupski's been very good. There's no doubt about that. I think that it's not rocket science. Please do. That, you know, if the more rubber you get to the net, the better off you're going to be. But I think you just have to play faster. I think you have to stretch in the neutral zone without question. You have to be able to pass from your blue line to their blue line, because you have speed and you have guys cutting through. You know, you really need to be able to leverage that.
Winning that battle neutral, I think, is one of the more underrated aspects of hockey.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that, you know, the team that controls the neutral zone, the team that plays with more pace, the team that comes after it and really attacks the neutral zone, that's the team that's going to win. The team that plays, because the game is won in the middle of the ice. The game is not won on the boards. You don't generally score against the boards. So what you have to do is get your game off the board and find a way to play in the middle of the ice, especially in the neutral zone.
Yesterday, Idaho seemed to win a lot of those 50-50 pucks. I like the way the Grizzlies played on the boards, getting it off the boards. I thought they won a lot more of those 50-50 pucks and were a little bit more of the aggressor here tonight than they were last night.
I think it's, you know, it's an interesting conversation, because I think when you look at the way the Grizzlies played last night, there was no zest, there was no fire, there was no fight. Tonight, now you're playing with zest, fire, and fight. Now you have to find a way to get back to your game, to play with pace and to play with speed.
Second period action will start here at Maverik Center as they put 20 minutes on the scoreboard clock here. The new ribbon board, which looks nice with a lot of bright colors. If you're watching on YouTube, here with the audio feed, you were able to see the Jumbotron in action in the first intermission as Utah wins the draw. Taryn Pfizer will nudge it in. Pfizer gets around Darren Brady. Grizzlies are skating from left to right here in the second period. Cutler with a one-timer that goes wide. Cutler got a pass from Pfizer. Now right side, McDonald with a shot. Saved by Kupski. Already 2 shots by the Grizzlies in the first 17 minutes of the second period.
Yeah, excellent job getting that puck in deep. You want to play behind their net. That's always a key to success, because the thing that happens when you get that puck into the corner, it forces those forwards to make a decision, right? And you really need to pressure and drag those guys down to create opportunity and space.
Penner will take the draw. He's with the 2 former Victoria Royals and Cutler and Pfizer. As Idaho wins the faceoff, they throw it along the far wall. Idaho skating from right to left as White will bounce it off the boards over towards Ducharme, the newest member of the Steelheads. He just came over from the AHL's Texas Stars, tried to feather a pass down the middle. Pfizer will throw it back into the corner. Now Utah gets it across to Pfizer. Tearing out to center ice. It kicks off of Penner's stick and goes into the Steelhead zone as playing it to the side of his net's Kupski. He'll roll it along the near wall. Now goes back to McDonald. Right point, he feeds it across, but the pass was behind Kolatarchi. Taking it to Ducharme, wearing number 11. He'll get it over to A.J. White near the Steelheads bench. Kolatarchi pushes White, and it goes to register on the near side. Register, the former Allen American, won 2 Kelly Cups with Colorado back when they were in this league. Over to the right corner, Kuotarchi pulls up Wade Murphy as it rolls along the near wall. Kanadi kept it in. Good play by him, and good job by McDonald poking it away from Misiak to get it out to center ice. Now Register from neutral ice fires a shot, and his stick breaks as he'll skate off the ice. Pass ahead to Raby. He'll step over the blue line. Raby tried to get it to right, but got poked away by Misiak. Pass is a little bit soft there as it goes out to the far side. Idaho will get it out to center as it bounced off the skate of right. Taken back by Pouncey. He'll feed it across to Martin. Martin up ahead, looking for right, but once again, puck just bouncing off a stick as it goes to the left corner. Rolls around to Raby. Back over towards right. Right spins it along the far wall. Nobody was home. And it goes all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. Bryce and Martin will get it from Miners behind the Grizzlies net. Martin overskated it. Pouncey takes it. Now throw it to Martin in the near corner. Martin in his own zone. Will feed it out to center ice. Pass picked off by Kudla. Kudla's got good size. He'll skate towards his right. Now he'll step over the line. Over to Tomowski, right side. He'll take a shot that goes wide as he trying to go low on Trent. Puck over towards center ice. Fitz battling with Kudla. Kudla nudges ahead to Franklin. Franklin gets hit by Sekos. Idaho dumps it in. Miner will throw it to Martin. Martin will fire it over the far wing boards and goes over the head of the linesman and out of play. 17:45 left here in the second. Still no score. As Idaho, 14 shots. Utah has taken 8. Both teams have 1 shot here so far in the second. As Colton Keller and Johnny Walker out of the penalty box, and they'll skate to their respective benches.
And that puck wound up in the Steelheads bench. Grady got his hands on it. But a much better start here already for the Utah Grizzlies. Shoot the puck, play behind their goal. Now you got to win this draw and get on your way to offense here.
Draws in the Grizzlies zone, right wing. Face-off won by Utah. Kuotarchi will get it over to Dylan Fitz. He'll throw it out into Steelheads territory. Hedrick tries to nudge it ahead. Now Jamison skates in, but he's offside as Robinson tried to exit the offensive zone, but couldn't before Jamison skated in.
Yeah, awkward bounce of the puck there. Unfortunately, Robinson had to make a decision. So many times those offside are millimeters. I mean, it's just one decision here or there.
Jamison will take the face-off against Tyne Pelton Bice. Bice played with Newfoundland last year. Bice complaining to the linesman as he dropped the puck. Bice wasn't ready. Now left side, Robinson with a shot that goes wide. As the puck along the near wing boards, Tomowski clears it out to center. Kuotarchi gathers it at center ice. Across to Corey Thomas in his Grizzlies debut. Pass up ahead, but it bounced off a Fitz stick. Now it goes to Bice. Now to Keller right side. Keller with a righty shot. Saved by Miner. Rebound goes towards the near boards. Tomowski gets hit by Thomas. Up ahead as puck ends up bouncing off the Keller and out to center ice. 3-on-2. Fitz skates into the left side. He's near the boards. He'll take a shot. It's blocked by Hedrick. And the puck behind the net. Utah gets blasted. That's Neil Robinson getting hit by Keller.
Penalty.
And that's going to be a penalty. Looks like
interference.
Keller hit Robinson. It was a big-time hit by Keller, but the referee spotted a penalty.
I mean, it's an obvious interference penalty. To me, anyway, you don't get a free run at a guy just because he had the puck. You want to hit a guy when he's on the puck, hey, great, that's hockey. But you got to be on time and in space there when you deliver that hit. And the shot was blocked. And then, yeah, he just never gave him a chance to get the puck. So that's an excellent call there. Now you have an opportunity on the Powerade power play.
Idaho this season is 37 for 39 on the penalty kill, 94.9%. 94.9, the Eagles. As Utah's power play, 19.3%. Right wing finds him with a shot, saved by Kupski. As we had a whistle with 16:52 left in the second period. Draw's going to stay in the Steelhead zone.
These draws are critical, and you really like. Zekos has been very good. Taryn Fizer's going to take this one, or no, excuse me, Zekos will step in and take it. He's been excellent on the dot this year.
Zekos takes the face-off, and he wins it against A.J. White, but the puck clears out to center as Fizer ahead towards right, taken away by A.J. White. White dumps it in. He gets cut off by Fizer, taken by Bartley. Victor, with a ton of experience, skates down the middle. Bartley will veer off to the left. He'll throw it to right at the center ice logo. He'll drop it back off for Fizer. Fizer right wing cross the center ice, and he dumps it in. Register chasing after it with Brandon Cutler. Cutler's got 5 points this season, all of them on the power play, so watch out for him. Left side right. Throws it towards Bartley. Bartley on the left side skates towards his right. Across to Fizer along the near wing boards. Fizer back up top for Bartley. As Bartley over to Fizer. Fizer surveys. He'll bounce it off the end wall for right behind the net. He'll feed it up top for Sekos on the left side. Over to Bartley. Now to the right for Pfizer. Pfizer back to Cutler behind the net. Cutler over to Sekos on the left side. Sekos back to Cutler in the left corner. Up top for Sekos. Zach will skate towards the left circle, get it across to Pfizer. Turn with a shot. Oh, he goes high, off the glass and out of place. He tried to go glove side on Kupski, but the puck lifted on him just a little bit.
Yeah, hit the crossbar. Rang the crossbar. Kupski gave thanks to that piece of iron there. And, you know, sometimes you need a little help as a goaltender, and Kupski got it off the crossbar there, but a really good shift by Victor Bartley on the power play. Kept the puck in, kept the puck moving. Really smart hockey there.
You have to like the Grizzlies process there on that shift against a good penalty-killing Idaho team.
Yes, absolutely.
Draws in the right circle. Fitz will take it. Both teams made a line change. Jade Miller will take the draw for Idaho. As the Steelheads win the face-off, Cutler will lift it over the head of the captain, Connor McDonald, as it goes deep into the Grizzlies zone. Trent Miner will give way to Bryson Martin. Grizzlies going with 2 defensemen, 3 forwards on this shift. As Martin at neutralized gets to McDonald. Connor into Steelheads territory, dumps it in. Fitz racing after it, but Cutler gets there first. He'll throw it to the right side. Connor kept it in. He'll feed it to Fitz on the right side. Fitz tried to get it across to Raby. It goes off the far boards. Johnny Walker on the left side. He's got 4 goals in his last 5 games. Over to Martin, who fakes a shot, throws to McDonald. Connor with a righty shot. Saved by Kupski. And he holds on as Fitz was trying to redirect it, but the puck, the shot ended up going directly into Kupski's pads.
Excellent rebound control there, boy. You know, sometimes you just need to shoot the puck. You know, if you have that vision, if you have that lane, and it's very dangerous from the top of the zone if you're going to shoot that puck and get it blocked. Sometimes that's going to lead to an odd man, but I think Bryson would like to have shot that puck.
Draws in the right circle once again. Fitz will take it against Ty Pelton-Bice. 18 seconds left in the Grizzlies power play. 15-17 left in the second period. Still no score. As the draw won by Utah. Raby throws it to McDonald. He'll skate towards his left as he's got the blue line nearby. McDonald now on the left point. Throws to Martin. Bryson's got 1 assist this season. As he'll skate towards the left corner, he'll throw it back to McDonald up top. Connor. Back to Martin. He's all alone on the left side. He'll feed it to the goal line for Walker. Back to Raby. Glanced off his stick. Idaho's back at full strength. Belton fanned on the pass back towards Keller at neutralize. Grizzlies in the offensive zone. Martin on the left side. Bouncing off the glass in the right corner. Raby will throw it up top to Martin, but it exits the zone. Utah will reset as Martin will fire it in. Grizzlies make a line change as Register will get it for Idaho. Matt Register, 5.5 minutes into the second period, throws it out to center ice, taken by Spanenbergs, but it goes past him. Tarcher with a pass to center ice. It's picked off by Domowski. Domowski left side will take a shot and he scores. He tried to go stick side on Miner and somehow snuck it through. Ryan Domowski gets his team leading 10th goal of the season, and the Steelheads have drawn first blood. 14:27 left in the second. Domowski does it again for Idaho.
Just one little mistake. I mean, it's a puck that there's a risky pass there, and oh wow, that's deflected off of Cola's stick there too. It looked like that hit the stick to rise, but it's those millimeters. This is not a game of feet. This is a game of millimeters, and I think there's no better illustration there.
Unassisted goal, Ryan Domowski, 5:33 into the second period as Idaho, for the first time this series, has scored first. Utah scored first last night. Puck all the way towards Miner, and Trent will outlet it out to the near side for Pfizer, who banned on getting out to center ice. As A.J. White back in the right corner overskates it. Utah will throw it between the Idaho defensemen. It's going to be icing on the Grizzlies with 14:03 left in the second.
Yeah, and now you have to answer here. You can't hang your head or feel sorry for yourself. You just got to go out and have another solid shift. And, you know, I think what you're going to see here, Kanati and Bartow are going to come back out for the Steelheads. I mean, I would expect a quick shot if they win the draw here.
Draws in the left circle of the Grizzlies zone. White will take it, but it's won by Penner. He's done a good job in the circle tonight. As Bartley ahead to Cutler, back over to Penner. Spanenbergs cuts in front of him. White will throw it back into the Steelheads blue line, over to Kanati. He gets spun around by McDonald, but keeps the puck as he'll drive it in as it bounced off the glass and rolls towards the far corner. Bartley over to Cutler. Cutler along the far side as he'll skate from left to right. He'll cross center and dump it off of the stick of Pfizer, and it rolls towards Kupski. Kupski will bounce it off his own end wall, and now it's taken by Kanati. Grizzlies will make a line change. 13.5 minutes left in the second period. Ryan Domowski, with his 10th of the year, has given Idaho a 1-0 lead. as Idaho will throw it out to center ice near their bench area. Murphy trying to locate it. Wright takes it away as he gets held up by Bardo. Raby in the offensive zone, trying to get it back over to Wright now. Right side, Seckles with a shot saved by Kupski. And Idaho will throw it out to center ice. Misiak with a rink-wide pass. Pull as Martin got a stick in the way. And puck ends up in the right corner. Martin hits Wade Murphy. He still heads over in the left corner. Utah drags down Idaho. They're going to spot a penalty. Kyle Pouncey just dragged down Justin Misiak, and holding's going to be the call. And when we come back in 1 minute, Idaho will be on the power play for the second time tonight. As Kyle Pouncey gets called 2 minutes for holding. He'll be in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. This is Utah Grizzlies Hockey, presented by Rio Tinto.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to Grizzlies Hockey, presented by Rio Tinto. Grizzlies Hockey also brought to you by Utah Operation Lifesaver and by Rogers and Russell. As in the box right now is Kyle Pouncey, 2 minutes for holding, time of penalty 7:02. And with Idaho leading 1-0, this feels like a critical sequence in this game and a critical penalty kill for the Grizzlies. Draws in the left circle, and it's won by Idaho. Hedrick on the right side, winds and fires. Oh, that got redirected and goes out of play. That was a good look by Hedrick. It bounced off of something and went out of play off the protective netting.
Yeah, Trent Miner got a blocker to it. Did a nice job. Trent's done a pretty nice job with his rebound control tonight.
Boy, think about it, the only goal that was scored by Domowski. I mean, the amount of space he had to get that puck in. I mean, it's, there's not much you can do about that one if you're Miner.
No, and it took a deflection. That's almost impossible for Miner to make the save.
Idaho wins the draw. Cudlow on the left side, take a shot. Saved by Miner. No rebound as he holds on. As Idaho already with 2 shots in the first 11 seconds of the power play.
Yeah, it's a very solid penalty killing unit. When you have Bartley and McDonald, along with Wright and Seckos. Now Penz and Strong will come on the ice to replace Wright and Seckos.
It's interesting to see Penner on that top line with Cutler and Pfizer tonight, the 2 Victoria Royals who played 3 years together in juniors. I know that's probably a ploy to get Penner going offensively, and he's had a good night. As Utah wins the faceoff, Bartley will clear it out.
Victor Bartley is really solid. I mean, you can just count on him to make the right decision.
Idaho skating from right to left, throws out to center ice for Pelton Bice. They feed it to the left side. Penner picks it off, trying to clear it out, but it was picked off by Cudlett, the Idaho blue line. Now he gets it back to Pelton Bice, who will back it out into the Steelhead zone. Idaho wants to enter the offensive zone with momentum. They're usually pretty patient in their own end. Past the right side, Idaho enters the zone with a little bit of momentum. Hedrick over to the high slot for Cudlett. Cudlett back to Hedrick, wearing number 7. As he'll throw it up top for Cudlett. Slot, shot, saved by Miner. Trent holds on once again without a rebound.
Excellent job. I mean, on the power play especially, when you're a goaltender, you have got to hold that puck. And what he did there is he let it hit his chest. And the technique is let it hit your chest, fall into your glove or between your pads, which are closed, so that the Steelheads can't take a whack at it and put it in the net.
Great to see Jake, the ECHL Fan of the Year last year, hanging out in the suite at Section 113. As the draw won by Utah, Zach Seckos battling along the corner. It goes back over to Bryson Martin. Martin holds up White. As Ducharme will throw it over to the right side for Register. Back to White on the right side. He'll throw it across to Ducharme. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Miner. Rebound Idaho will throw it back to the left point. Brady will skate towards his right. Over to Ducharme, wearing number 11. Ducharme's a good skater. He looks like a fine athlete. They'll throw it over to Brady. Now to the right side for Register. Register, right side. Surveys, throws it across to Ducharme. 30 seconds left in the power play. Register, right side shot. Saved by Miner.
Trent saw that all the way. And Register, obviously one of the most prolific slap shots in this league. He's a big, tall guy with a long stick. Register is. Trent Miner was well aware of his position, read it, had the vision for it, and made the catch.
Well, this looks like vintage Trent Miner from his best games of last season. He had 7 shutouts, which broke a Grizzlies franchise record. He's got 8 pro shutouts and only about 40 pro games. He's done an outstanding job here tonight. Utah wins the face-off. McDonald skates around the net and clears it all the way out towards Jake Kupski, the Idaho goaltender. 22 seconds left in the Idaho power play and counting as Brady skates around the net. Durham Brady, second year with the Steelheads, also has some experience with Rapid City. He's at center ice, right side now, skate north-south. He'll enter the zone, right side, and he'll spin it along the wall as it's now on the near side. Cam Strong battling, Ducharme across to Brady, right side, take a shot. On it goes wide. He had some net there on the stick side, but the Grizzlies are back at full strength. Ducharme, throw it to the corner, now to White, left side shot, and it gets blocked. As Cam Strong will carry it out to center ice. Strong 1-on-3, team makes a line change around him. Strong dumps it in. Good job by Cam Strong keeping the puck and letting Utah make a line change. As Idaho along the near side, Walker to the right side will feed it over to the left corner. Corey Thomas in his Grizzlies debut will bounce it around the boards. Walker in the right corner gets it, up top for Martin. Bryson couldn't quite keep the line, and the Grizzlies end up throwing it back in offside Utah.
Yeah, that's, again, nice job getting it out. Nice job killing the penalty. Grizzlies take a lot of pride in their special teams. That was very well done. So now we'll see what this Walker-Cutler-Pfizer combination can do with Thomas and Martin on the blue line.
Draws a neutral ice. Pfizer against Jade Miller. Miller, one of the glue guys for South Carolina last year. Miller and Cam Strong were teammates in South Carolina for a portion last year. Strong also played some time with Reading before joining South Carolina. As Grizzlies win the draw, as Martin right side shot and it goes wide. Idaho leads 1-0. Utah trying to tie it up. Puck out to center ice. Big time hit delivered in the Steelhead zone. Idaho overskates it. Pfizer gets hacked away, and he'll dump it in. And icing on Utah as Justin Misiak was kind of hacking away at Pfizer. Terran dumped it in from Grizzlies territory. So we'll go back to Trent Miner's end. We're about halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes. It's been a pretty evenly matched game. The only goal was an unassisted one by Ryan Domowski, 5:33 into the second period.
Great hit by Johnny Walker. And who did he get? He got Franklin. So that conversation continues.
I think that conversation is going to continue all year, as long as Franklin's on Idaho and as long as Walker is with Utah.
I would absolutely agree.
Draws in the left circle, taken by Utah. Grizzlies throw it up ahead to Brandon Cutler. Across center ice, left wing, and dumps it in. Kupski behind his net will throw it along the far side. Pfizer with a good back check as the puck ends up with Robinson. He'll skate along the right side. Pfizer will dump it to the corner, taken back by Nick Canati, who gets it around a skater. Canati with good speed, Fitz behind him. Fitz's stick goes flying. Canati enters the offensive zone. Fitz picks his stick up at center ice. Canati in the right corner. And as he makes a move on Robinson, he'll nudge it across to Miller. Miller on the far side, up top for Canati in the right point. Now back to Miller, but he couldn't keep the line as he tried to locate the puck. Idaho resets, they'll throw it out to center ice, pass bounced over the stick of Kubla. Now Fitz over to Robinson. Robinson trying to drop it back off for Fitz. It bounced off of something, and Walter Kupski covers up.
Boy, and again, Franklin going after Keaton Jamison. Franklin just keeps asking. Jamin did a nice job there of not retaliating. And really good hustle there by Dylan Fitz to get to the front of the net in case there was any loose puck there. But again, Robinson does a nice job making sure that puck gets into the paint, forcing Kupski to make a save.
Jamison will take the face off. He's got Fitz to his left and Robinson to his right. Idaho wins the draw as Hedrick will get it across to Kubla. Kubla will throw it out to the right side. It bounced off of Keller's stick. He tries to race after it. McDonald wins the foot race and throws it back to center ice. Now Kubla gets it back on the left side. He's got his blue line nearby. So throw it ahead to Keller. Keller will nudge it to the right corner. Taken by Fitz, he throws it from one corner to the other for Bartley. Now towards Jamison, who bounces it off a Steelhead and goes flying into the air at center ice. Robinson gets hit by Hedrick. Now McDonald over the line, over to Jamison, right side. I tried to feather it out in front to Robinson, but the pass was wide. Now it's the left point. Bartley with a shot that goes wide. As Murphy along the near side throws it ahead to Hedrick. Owen Hedrick gets around right. Now skate in. Hedrick now on the right side. He'll take a shot. Saved by Minor. As Hedrick skated from the left side onto the right circle, fired away, but Trent was able to make the stop, and he's not allowed many rebounds tonight as the second-year pro, Trent Minor.
What a shift by Robinson and Keaton Jamison. Bartley and McDonald, excellent. About a minute and a half on the ice there. Very, very good to create momentum for the Grizzlies. Get that puck in deep, move it well in your own end. Great job.
Draws in the right circle. The two number 17s take it. Belton Bice for Idaho and Sekos for Utah. And the puck ends up in the corner. Utah comes up with a turnover. Right side, Domowski shot saved by Minor. And then the puck ends up squirting out to center ice. Brady will dump it back in as it rolls around the boards. Now in the left corner, Domowski gets pushed by Pouncey. Domowski trying to break free of Pouncey as it goes back into the corner again. Sekos gets it head to the right. Cameron Wright throws it to center ice for Raby, who crosses center right wing. He'll dump it in. Raby wins the foot race with Register as Raby's about as fast as it comes. Utah top for Pouncey. Kyle had an assist last night over to Martin. Now across to Sekos. One-timer and it goes wide. Puck rolls along the far boards. Martin spins it back around. Register cuts it off behind the net. He gets spun around by Raby, who's had a good shift. Now Register to the right corner, gets it poked away. Cameron Wright's had a good night tonight. He'll throw it up top for Pouncey. He'll skate toward his left, take a shot, and that gets blocked. Idaho comes up with a rebound. Sekos is net front. He got knocked down, but gets back to his feet. Domowski to the left side, crosses center ice. They'll lift it in. Idaho will change up forwards, as well as Duran Brady coming off as Vandenberg hits Kolatarchi. And make that Martin. Puck ends up with Ducharme. Justin's his first name, wearing number 11. Utah takes it away from him. Right to the near side. We'll lift it high into the air. Bouncing puck near the Grizzlies bench. Cutler skates in. Cutler just outside the left circle. Waits for everybody else to enter the zone. Throw it to Penner. Tyler skates around the net. Gets held up. Now back to Wright. Right over to Bartley, left side. He'll take a shot. Saved by Kupski. Loose change out in front. Idaho clears it back out to center ice. Visor across to McDonald at center ice. Connor bounces it off of Murphy. Connor gets it back and throws it over to Bartley. Bartley at neutral ice will throw it back to McDonald. He's in the neutral zone slot over to Penner. Penner gets pushed by Murphy as the puck is now in the Steelhead zone. Idaho gets a turnover. Cutler left side. He's in the circle. Look to center at the Visor. Shot safe. Rebound shot. Penner is taking a second look. That's going to be a penalty on Idaho. As Penner got hit with a high stick as he was taking a shot. Penner over to Cutler. Delay penalty. 6:30 left in the second period. As Idaho trying to touch up the puck. Cutler holds his ground along the far boards. Now Idaho touches it up. And the Grizzlies are going to go back on the power play with 6:26 left in the second period. And that was probably a good penalty because Penner was all alone on the right side.
Yes.
And Murphy did what he had to do there.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. That's a penalty Idaho had to take. That's a hook, excuse me, not a high stick. Even though it looked like a high stick, so maybe he high sticked him in the neck. Sometimes that happens.
Or a high hook.
Yeah, you know, there you go. The point is that the Utah Grizzlies are going to be on the Powerade power play now. And look who's going to take the draw. Good old number 17, Zach Sekos for your Utah Grizzlies.
Sekos will take the draw against Jet Becker. Time of penalty 13:34 into the second period. Idaho still leads 1-0. They are 38 for 40 on the penalty kill here, which means their penalty kill is due to let one in. Who knows? Taking the draws, Brandon Cutler after Sekos got kicked out of the circle. Cutler took a lot of faceoffs his first couple games for the Grizzlies, but hasn't recently. Idaho wins the draw, and they'll throw up between the Grizzlies. Two guys up top, and goes all the way out to Trent Minor.
Again, an excellent penalty killing club, the Idaho Steelheads are, so you got to be really precise with the puck here.
Bartley drops now for Sekos. He crosses center ice. Sekos skates down the middle. He'll step over the blue line and goes to the left side for Cutler. I tried to feed the left point. He thought Bartley was there. Bartley was a little bit more towards the slot. Bartley will skate back into his own zone as the Grizzlies reset. Bartley skates down the middle. Before he crossed center ice, dropped it off for Sekos. Now to Visor. Visor in the right side. Stops in the corner. He blows a tire. Runs into the referee. Referee kept his feet. Now goes back to Visor. Visor and Sekos are tied for the club lead with 6 goals. As Wright throws up top for Sekos. He's in the right point. He'll skate along the wall. Back to Visor. Terran surveys as he's over in the corner. Now he'll skate to the goal line. Now he'll throw it back to the right wing boards for Wright. Now to Bartley. Over to Sekos. Left side, it takes a shot. It's blocked by Brady. Good play by Brady, who gets it and clears it out.
Good penalties, good penalty killing teams are going to block a lot of shots. He really closed the lane there. It looked like it was open, and Idaho closed that shooting lane very quickly.
Grizzlies cross center ice, 43 seconds left in the penalty kill. Puck bounced off a Grizzlies stick. Idaho clears it back deep into the Grizzlies zone again. Utah makes a line change as McDonald and Martin are out there. Martin has the puck. He'll skate down the middle. He'll feed it out to the right side for McDonald. Back to Martin. He's in the slot. He'll skate down the middle. He'll step over the blue line. He'll throw it to the left side for Raby. Raby skates towards the left circle. Gets it back to Martin. Across to McDonald. Connor back to Martin. Martin fakes a shot. Now he takes one. It gets blocked. And taking its tie, Pelton Bice. So cross center ice. He tries to get around McDonald. Connor boxes him out. Puck rolls towards Minor as Pelton Bice collides with the Grizzlies net, and that comes dislodged. Good job by Connor McDonald in the one-on-one battle with Ty Pelton Bice, just doing whatever he could to make sure Bice couldn't get the puck. He was trying to keep himself, puck there. McDonald, Minor, he plays the angle so well, and Pelton Bice ran into the net to stop action.
Where are they going to have this draw? Okay, it will be outside the zone, as Idaho is the one that knocked the net off. And if you knock the net off in your offensive end, that draw comes outside the zone.
8 seconds left in the Grizzlies power play. Wade Murphy is standing up and he's waiting to come out of the box. Grizzlies preparing for life after the power play as Jamison will take the draw against A.J. White. Strong and Robinson are out there as well, along with Corey Thomas and Kyle Pouncey as Idaho wins the draw, and they'll throw it all the way deep into the Grizzly zone as it bounced off the backboards. Murphy will skate out of the penalty box and skates to the bench. As Grizzlies will throw it to center ice for Jamison, who kicked it into the Steelhead zone. Kupski behind his net will roll along the near side as White will throw it ahead to center ice. It bounces off the Thomas' skate as Ducharme skates in, but offside in the play. It looked like Jack Becker had already scared. I think that's Vandenbergs had already skated in.
Yeah, that was pretty clearly an offside. Excellent second period here. Idaho up 1-0.
4:09 left in the second period. Time out on the ice will take one as well. Idaho still leads 1-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Mountain Land Supply Company.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Bum, bum, bum. 4:09 left in the second period. Idaho leads 1-0. Draws a neutral ice. Somebody threw a chuck a puck over in the right corner. And Craig Peterson, one of the linesmen, is going to take the chuck a puck and get it out of play. Evenly matched game. The only goal was an unassisted one by Ryan Domowski. 5:33 into the second period. It was Domowski's 10th goal of the season here on Pooch on the Pond, as well as an AFCU Friday. Both teams will be off tomorrow, and the series will conclude on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Utah wins the neutral zone draw. They're skating from left to right here in the second period as McDonald will throw it out to the Idaho blue line. Puck enters the Steelhead zone as it glides to the left corner. Big time hit delivered by Robinson on Darren Brady. As Cam Strong will nudge it up top. Strong gets it left side. Shot saved by Kupski. He holds on, but that was a good play by Cam Strong to create a scoring chance there with 3:50 left in the second.
Well, and you like that this line really is doing its job. You have to kind of churn a little bit. Cam Strong goes out there, gets a body, as does Neil Robinson. He gets a body, and all of a sudden, puck winds up at the net. Now you got an offensive zone draw.
Grizzlies get 3 new forwards, but that forward line did its job. As the Grizzlies run the offensive zone with a face-off. Good effort by Cam Strong and company. As the draw taken by Idaho, puck fired towards Kupski, hit the side of the net. Brady gets hit by Cutler as the Steelheads will clear it out to center ice. Good job of the Grizzlies throwing it back to the Idaho blue line. Penner will throw it to the left corner. Brady skates over there. Cutler delivers a hit on Brady. Idaho gets it out to center ice. It bounced off a Ducharme stick And Bartley will nudge it into his own corner. Bartley will hit Ducharme. And the puck battling as it's taken by Bartley. He'll throw it across to McDonald. Tried to get Cutler, but he was on 2 knees. Brady gets poked away by Pfizer. Pfizer throws it from blue line to blue line. Bench wanted a penalty on Brady, who hit Pfizer as he was clearing it out.
Should have been interference.
Deep in the Steelhead zone, Idaho has it skating from right to left. Idaho will ice the puck. Racing after is Corey Thomas. Is icing going to get called? Yes, it is.
Yes, it will. Excellent hustle by Thomas there, earning his stripes as a Grizzly against his former club. Don't forget, Thomas played 8 games with the Steelheads last year. But, you know, with all due respect to Thomas, I think it really tells you how difficult it has been with the blue line for the Grizzlies. They've just had so many guys, you know, between going up and guys battling injuries. By the way, James Shearer down here on the bench wearing a very nice suit as an assistant coach, but he's a great example. That's a guy that had a letter on his chest and is injured and not available to Ryan Kanasowicz as a player.
Grizzlies also without Andrew Nilsson tonight. Nate Clemens up in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles. Sekos is kicked out of the circle.
Oh, that's a tough loss.
Cameron Wright will, or actually it's Raby that will take the draw against Jack Becker. And even 3 minutes left in the second period. Idaho's outshot Utah 23-14. Idaho wins the draw as Jade Miller will nudge it out to center ice. And Martin will throw it back towards Steelheads territory. Register gets it across to Brady. Brady ahead towards Franklin. It goes past him into the Grizzlies zone where it's taken by Corey Thomas. Thomas played at Vermont for 4 years. Last season his graduate transfer was at Canisius College and then joined the Steelheads at the end of his college career. Franklin to the left side centers it. Raby picks it off and clears it out as it lightly glides into the Steelhead zone. Kind of a wobbling puck is taken by Register. Register back deep in his own zone. 2.5 minutes left in the second. Second intermission, we'll talk with Tim Broussard. We'll also recap the period and preview the third as Franklin to the right side skates towards the offensive corner. Now back over towards McDonald, who boxes out Becker. Now Cameron Wright in the corner. Right. As he's got Franklin nearby. And now it's the left side, taken by Miller. He takes a shot, saved by Minor. As the puck ended up along the boards, just drifted towards Miller. He fired away, and Minor was able to make the save with 2:05 left in the second.
Well, Dakota Raby did a really nice job getting that puck out of the zone. Did a really nice job. You know, that's the difference between, you know, another opportunity for Idaho and clearing the puck out. And I think Dakota Raby did a really nice job as Bartley's going to stay on the ice here.
He gets a new stick from the equipment manager, Mason Whalen, who looked like he nudged it across the bench to Colin Lee. And then Colin looked like he was the one that gave the stick to Bartley. As the linesman drops the puck, but we'll do it over again.
Yep. Keaton Jamison, the birthday boy, on the dot. Or was. We'll see if he gets kicked out of there.
Hopefully he has a good dinner after the game, celebrating his birthday.
J-Mo's going to stay on the face-off here.
Against Ty Pelton-Bice, last night's #1 star. As the draw won by Utah. McDonald back at his own goal line, now behind Trent Minor. So we got 2 minutes even and counting left in the second. Idaho leads 1-0. Grizzlies get it across to Jamison. He gets blasted on his birthday along the wall. Walker at center ice dumps it in, taken by Bardo, wearing number 51 for Idaho. Bardo is shadowed by Dylan Fitz. Bardo back behind the net, skates towards the far side. Now he'll tap it off the far glass. Domowski gets it center ice. Domowski's got some AHL experience with Hartford. He'll dump it to Bice. Bice back to Keller in the right corner. Keller to Domowski behind in the far goal line. Domowski will skate towards the far wall. Now feed it across to Canati. He'll take a lefty shot, intentionally bouncing it off the boards. And Pelton-Bice will throw it to the right side. It's Domowski in the corner, and he gets to Keller. Keller will bounce it off the end wall, around the net. McDonald will feed it ahead. Johnny Walker to the right side, crosses center ice. He doesn't have numbers, and it's at the end of the shift, so Johnny dumps it in and skates off the ice. 1:05 and counting left in the second. Idaho skating from right to left. Canadi's got good speed. He crosses center ice. He played in Finland last year and scored 3 goals. Canadi will throw it up top, but fanned on it. Taken by Pfizer ahead to Cutler. Cutler skates along the right wing. He'll skate over the offensive line and now into the corner. He loses the puck as he gets held up by Misiak. Now to Canadi. He'll throw it to center ice. Pass incomplete for A.J. White. Skating over there is Bryson Martin as the whistle blows for icing with 39 seconds left in the second period.
Yeah, 1-0. The Idaho Steelheads lead your Utah Grizzlies. And boy, you know, you feel like that one deflected goal
Man, that's what is winning and losing in this league now. It's amazing to me how much the level of competition has come up, the level of talent in the ECHL has risen. It's really quite remarkable.
If you like good defensive play and good goaltending, this is the game for you.
Yes, exactly right.
Draws in the left circle, and it's taken by Idaho. As Kubler around the net, he'll bounce it off the near glass. The skating's Misiak. Bartley over there as well, but it's another icing on the Steelheads with 31 seconds left in the second period.
Kanadi will have to come back out.
He tried to sneak to the bench, and the official spotted it.
Well, this has been a long shift for him and Misiak in particular. They've been on the ice a long time now. I guess that's Murphy out there as well, but he was a late change to this group. So let's see if Grizzlies can take advantage with Zekos on the dot.
Draw one by, well, it goes into the corner. Cameron Wright gets it. Wright will throw it to Zekos. One-timer on it. Bounced off of Kupski's stick and goes out of play. Hard to say whether that shot would have had the accuracy had Kupski not gotten a piece of it, but it goes out of play with 23 seconds left in the second.
I could tell you from my advantage point down here on the bench, that was headed for the top. I guess that had to be goaltender right corner. Great job. I mean, if you're not impressed with Kupski tonight, that blocker is phenomenal. I mean, to make that save on Zekos, that's a quality save.
Year in and year out, it seems like he still has that quality goaltenders.
They do, and you know, I mean, it's so tough, and we're so just spoiled here in Utah. I mean, with the depth that this organization from top to bottom has built, guys like Trent Miner, Garrett Metcalf. I mean, the goaltending here is solid.
As we've seen every year, if you don't have good goaltending, you're not going to win in this league. As Utah wins the draw, over to Zekos, high slot shot blocked by White. He goes to Wright. Wright skates around the net, right side eye, band on it, and
boy, Cudless upset.
Looked like a Grizzly cut in front. I think it was Zekos.
Cudless going to go off here. This is going to be a Grizzlies power play. Zach Zekos skated through. Kupski was a little slow to cover the puck with the glove. Zach saw the opportunity, got aggressive to the net, and now Kupski, or excuse me, Cudless is going to go.
He's got a few words for the referee.
Well, you know, and I don't, this is one of those penalties where if I understand why you're protecting your goaltender. I understand that. It's still a penalty. I mean, you can argue that he put his arm up, and you could be upset about that. And let's see what the official's going to say here. And you'll see great job again by Cameron Wright. That's just slow. That is a slow cover by Jake Kupski. You got to give a lot of credit to Zach Zekos for being aggressive to the paint there.
I mean, Wright kind of took a shot, didn't get much on it, and rolled towards Kupski a little bit slow, and then Zekos just kind of skating by, seeing if he can nudge it past him, and kind of an unorthodox play.
Yeah.
And Cudless saw Zekos cutting towards Kupski. I don't know that he necessarily got that close to him, but then Cudless took offense and committed a penalty.
Well, you can never two-handed slash a guy in this game. Every official's putting the arm up on that.
14 seconds left in the second period. Utah wins the draw. As Zekos up top for Bartley to take a shot. Oh, that one goes wide. Didn't miss by much. 5 seconds left. Zekos around the net, over for Wright. Right behind the net. Trying to get it over to the left side. Register got his stick in the way, and that will do it for 40 minutes here at Maverik Center as A.J. White and Cameron Wright exchange a couple words after the buzzer, or whatever that thing is.
Boy, Cameron Wright is right in the middle of all of this. And this is, now you're becoming, you can see the tenacity in Cameron Wright, and you just love it. You absolutely love it. Talking a bunch of junk to A.J. White, I love it. Cameron Wright belongs in this league. He belongs playing hockey with some more zeros on it. And now Cameron Wright and A.J. White are talking. I love Cam Wright. And now Kupski and Wright run into each other. And Kanadi and then a left by Kanadi on Wright.
Cameron Wright, who had an outstanding college career. He won a national championship at Denver last season. He played for Bowling Green and was a teammate of Connor McDonald's for 2 years.
Yeah, Pouncey and the official are having a conversation there. And it's just, this was a very interesting period. It was a very close period. And, you know, if you're a Grizzlies fan, you love to see this because this was a lot of effort. You know, this was a period that the Grizzlies just outworked the back half of this period. They just outworked Idaho. And you feel like they got a lot more opportunities because they absolutely outworked Idaho.
And now you're going to have essentially a little less than a 2-minute power play to start the third period with a huge opportunity to tie this game.
Idaho leads 1-0. Ryan Domowski, 5.5 minutes into the second, has the only goal of the game. We'll recap the first 2 periods of play, and then later on we'll talk with Tim Broussard, our glue guy here on Press Row, and get his thoughts on what he saw in the second period. Idaho 1, Utah 0. Sickfried and Jensen intermission report coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
An intermission here at Maverik Center, and we got a dog parade at center ice, as we got a lot of good-looking dogs, all shapes, sizes, and colors. As it's Pooch on the Pond, the annual Pooch on the Pond, which is a tradition that's lasted for as long as I can remember. It's a fun night. It's also an AFC Friday, and we got a really good Friday night crowd here piled into Maverik Center. Remember, tomorrow's an off day, and Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock will be the series finale. Next week, the 12 Riviera's Lions will be in town. Next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday is going to be an AFC Friday. The second annual Pride Night presented by FedEx is going to be on Saturday, November 26th, and Sunday at 3 o'clock will conclude the homestand. And then after that, the Grizzlies will be in Boise for 2 games. So you think about seeing this Steelheads team a lot, and they're going to have to find a way to generate some goals, as they had 1 goal last night and haven't scored here in the first 2 periods. The only goal scored on either side, Ryan Domowski, 5:33 into the second period, unassisted. It was over on the left side, and the angle that the puck ended up getting past Trent Miner. There was nothing Trent could do. It was just that little blind spot there on the blocker side, and just like that, it was 1-0. It's stayed 1-0. Both teams are 0 for 2 on the power play, but remember, the Grizzlies will be on the power play the first minute 46 of this third period, as Patrick Cudley got a slashing Miner. 19:45 into the second. Who's been aggressive offensively for the Grizzlies? Cameron Wright and Zach Sekos each have 3 shots. 2 shots each for McDonald and Fitz. Both the Fitz shots came in the first period. And then quite a few other Grizzlies with 1 shot. For Idaho, Domowski leads the way. Or Domowski and Cudley each have 4 shots. Domowski's 1 goal is the difference in the game right now. Colton Keller with 3 shots, and then a few others with 2. As Idaho has outshot Utah 24-16 through 2 periods. Idaho 13 shots in the first, 11 in the second. Grizzlies 7 shots in the first and 9 in the second. And Monty, that power play to start the third period is certainly going to be critical in how the momentum is going to end up in the third.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the tough thing, that what you hate about this game is it's not 0-0. And, Kolotarchi just found himself in that awful position as a professional athlete playing at a high level, He turned it over, and then he was defending the goal, went to block the shot with his stick. It hits the blade of his stick and goes into the top corner of the net. I mean, it's your worst nightmare because Trent Miner has played his absolute best tonight. I think this might be one of the best performances I've seen out of Trent. And you just feel horrible for him that the one goal that went in was a deflected goal into about a thimble size space in the top right corner. It's just brutal.
I guess the old cliche, it's a game of inches, and that rings true here so far tonight. It's kind of interesting to see most of the Mountain Division opponents taking tonight off.
It's an odd schedule right now, though. You know, you were talking about it. You know, we played on Thursday, Friday, off on Saturday for a concert that's here, and then you play Sunday at 3:10. It's just kind of it's an interesting stretch of games that I think will really test this Grizzlies team.
Only other game involving a Mountain Division opponent. The Allen Americans fall to Cincinnati 4-1, so Cincinnati goes to 8-1, 0-1 on the season. Allen falls to 4-5-1. Other games in the league in a shootout. Savannah defeats Orlando 2-1. In overtime, Florida over Atlanta 5-4. Wheeling over Toledo 2-1. In overtime, Worcester defeats Greenville 3-2. Jacksonville over South Carolina 4-3 in overtime. The Trois-Rivières Lions defeat Norfolk 6-4. We'll see the Lions next week here at Maverik Center for a 3-game series. There's not a whole lot of familiar names, although one guy who's given the Grizzlies some issues over the last couple of years, Cedric Momenny. He's the guy who played for Rapid City a couple of years ago. He scored some big goals against Utah, most of them coming in Rapid City. He had 2 goals and 1 assist tonight for the Lions in a 6-4 victory over Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals.
Congratulations to the beautiful small dog that just won the the Maverik Center Kennel Club Best in Show award.
That was a tough competition. There's a lot of good-looking dogs there on the ice. It looks like the dogs are walking off the ice over towards the Zamboni Tunnel.
Yep. I mean, look, folks, if you haven't been out to the Maverik Center, beyond the fact that we've got to have 5,000 in here tonight, beyond the fact that we have all these new beautiful, boards and the Jumbotron, things like Pooch on the Pond are absolutely fantastic. And I mean, the people here at Maverik Center have worked so hard to put on a great show. Pooch on the Pond is one of those games you never miss. You should be here every single year because it's just so much fun with all the kids and all the dogs, and it's absolutely fabulous.
Through 2 periods, Utah has won the face-off battle 29-23. Scoring chances, Utah's got 5. Idaho has 9. Both teams have 18 hits. Grizzlies 6 giveaways. Idaho has 7. And it almost feels like that power play to start the 3rd period could end up deciding really who's got momentum throughout the 3rd period. And Utah, they got 2 power play shots in the 2nd period. Idaho had 3 power play shots. And really for Utah, I like the way the process has been moving the puck around there without a good defenseman in Andrew Nilsson. It looks like Victor Bartley has been working on that power play unit with Nilsson out of the lineup. But, whether it's Sekos or Pfizer or even Cutler, who's been good on the power play this season, Utah's got to find a way there in the first 2 minutes of this 3rd period to either tie up the game or at least get some offensive zone time to where you can maybe score shortly after that power play.
I'm telling you, the message at morning skate today was very clear. It's just not good enough the way we were playing last night. We have to be better. And the thing that I think really stands out is that you continue to see guys like Victor Bartley, absolutely taking charge of this team. Connor McDonald speaking up, being vocal, the leadership on this team, guys like Wright, Bartley, Cutler, Pfizer, I think those are the guys that are being vocal. They're close to a breakthrough here. They're close to a 3-4 goal period. Now you just got to go and do that. And I think that the desperation that comes out of losing 6-1 last night, Tyson, the battle that was practiced this morning, and now the absolute fight for your hockey life in this 3rd period. There's no excuse for this not to be tied after this power play. You've got to have it.
It was quite the competition in morning skate, and it's a big 3rd period for the Grizzlies. Idaho won the series opener 6-1. They look to bounce back here and win the middle game. They need a good third period to do so. When we come back to the intermission report, we'll talk with Tim Broussard and get his thoughts on what he's seen through the first 2 periods. This is the Siegfried and Jensen intermission report. Idaho leads 1-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Third period action will begin in about 8 minutes of real time. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Tim Broussard, director of, everything up here.
Miscellaneous affairs.
Miscellaneous affairs. I like that. That's a good one. The Domowski goal, it was one of those where just the angle there, and it seemed like Colatarchi got a piece of it, and just kind of stuck in there. And for a good goal scorer like Domowski, it seems like he always gets those sort of breaks.
And that's what happens when it's kind of one of those blue-collar goals. You work hard enough doing the right things at the right time, you're in the right place, and you get rewarded, and that's what happened. I agree with Monty. No fault of Trent Miner. It's just one of those that got by, and we need, reset, do our best, and answer back, which I kind of thought we did in the second half of the second, but we just don't have anything on the scoreboard yet.
The transition game was interesting last night. Tonight, what have you seen from the transition game?
Wow, Idaho is so quick with their decisions. We had that discussion earlier today when I gave you a call, and getting the feedback from last night, and to see it here in the implementation on the ice. I mean, these guys are already on a 50-50 puck, like we talked about last night that Utah really struggled to get. Idaho's already on the way, assuming that they're going to get the 50-50 puck, and that pass is going to them. That's like you mentioned earlier, incredibly hard to defend. It just seems like Utah is just a step behind on the Idaho transition.
Now, it seems like the second period, usually Utah's best, but it hasn't necessarily been that way in this series. I mean, after the Domowski goal to make it 1-0, what did you see from the second period?
At least we answered back. I mean, the second period was our money period all year last year.
Yeah.
We had one dry stretch of games that it wasn't, but predominantly we knew going into the second we owned it. And not necessarily. Now we're playing, arguably one of the best teams in our division for sure, and if not the Western Conference, but not necessarily the same flow, not necessarily that same domination that we did last year. I did see a lot of initiation of that physical play, between Franklin getting around and messing around, with our players. Well, we have Walker, we have Seikos, we have Pfizer, these guys that are stepping up to answer back and make sure that he doesn't get a free pass through the zone.
We saw Franklin a couple years ago with Allen kind of be that same type of player.
Same player, we know the type, and I'm glad that we answered back and didn't give him a free pass anywhere.
Special teams are interesting here tonight. Not a whole lot of power plays, and with Utah without Andrew Nilsson, who's been their big guy up top, with 8 power play assists. Victor Bartley's kind of taking that role tonight. But it almost feels like that first power play that the Grizzlies have, the first minute 46 of that third period, that's going to set the tone for the rest of this game.
Yep, they need to do something. We talked about being a pedestrian team or very middle of the road team statistic-wise. We don't have Dastu. We know that that's not there. However, we do have that NHL type shot with Nilsson. Well, he's not here, so who's next to step up and line and generate that? We've seen the shots come in. A large portion of our shots that we have generated are coming off of that 45-degree angle from the defenseman. It transitions over to the power play where we have the wing and the center collapse in on that 45-degree angle shot, and we keep going to it because that lane is open. And so I expect to see more of that in this power play coming up. If we can connect that with a few more passes, crisp passes, guys cutting down the middle, I think we can put enough pressure on Kupski to a little bit indecision and hopefully make the wrong one.
And it feels like with Seikos and Pfizer, both guys have 6 goals that are tied for the team lead. Feels like both those guys are due here at some point in this series to break through with a big goal.
For those that don't know, these guys have incredible hands out in front, and especially with the body of Pfizer, just having to deal with that as a goalie, having somebody in your face, and he's very cerebral when he plays that position out in front. It's almost like he's a second goalie and can kind of play that same angle that the goalie does. Well, that's what we want in front of Kupski, to generate some type of distraction or obstacle to look around.
Seems like other than the Domowski goal, it's been a pretty evenly played game. But with Utah losing last night, Idaho looks like they're a pretty strong unit this year. It almost feels like, every game here at Maverik Center is going to be critical because Idaho is going to be a tough team to beat in their own arena. And the thing with Idaho, we talked about before the season, their road record was so tough, was so bad last year that that Idaho, every time they can win on the road, that's big for them because they know that's an easy path to try to win their division.
Well, they want revenge for what happened at the end of last year.
Yeah.
I mean, all they had to do was win a couple games here against, us, and they were in, and regardless, we had already, sealed our fate, and we were in the playoffs, and they met their demise right here. So no greater joy to them than to come out and get some level of redemption, and Coach Everett is out there, and, I'm sure he's going to get some level of enjoyment. I'd love to have that opportunity to deny that from him and, at least split this and then maybe, get the rubber match on Sunday.
That's certainly been nice. A good third period is needed for the Grizzlies. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Appreciate it, Tyson.
That's Tim Broussard. What was that title you had?
Director of Miscellaneous Affairs.
Miscellaneous Affairs. I like it. We'll be back and have third period action. Idaho leads 1-0. Utah will be on the power play for the first minute 46. The Director of Miscellaneous Affairs, Tim Broussard, hanging out at press row. We'll be back with Monty and me with the third period action coming up next. This is the Siegfried and Jensen Intermission Report on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
We're about set to start third period action as Utah trails 1-0, but they'll be on the power play for the first minute 46 of this third period. I'm Tyson Whiting here, sitting high atop section 114. Tim Montemayor is on the Grizzlies bench, and Monty, it's a big power play here for the Grizzlies, the first minute 46 of this third period.
Well, yeah, you're going to define your character by the results you get on this power play, because there was no question the intensity of the conversation in the locker room between periods. There is no question that I think the Utah Grizzlies understand that this is why you play hockey. Let's see who you are now, because you need to stay connected. You need to give you a chance in the micro. You need to give yourself a chance to win the series. And, you really want to stay connected with the Steelheads as we close out this homestand, as you pointed out. And then you're going up to Boise to take on the Idaho Steelheads again. So these two games that are coming up, this one, this period, and then the 3 on Sunday are critically important.
20 minutes are put on the stadium scoreboard clock here at Maverik Center. Utah will be skating from right to left. In this third period, Idaho will be skating from left to right. Brandon Cutler will take the face-off. Cameron Wright to his right, and Terran Pfizer to his left. Zach Sekos and Victor Bartley taking the draw for Idaho as A.J. White. He's got Darren Brady out there along with Svanenbergs and Register as Idaho wins the draw, and they clear it all the way out towards Trent Miner, who's played a good game, stopping 23 of 24. Bartley skates north-south, and he'll get it out to neutral ice, so dropping off for Sekos. Zach crosses center ice, he'll feed it to the right side for Pfizer, over to right, back to Pfizer, who skates along the goal line. And he'll stop, throws it back up top for Sekos. Sekos gets hit by Spangenberg, so that could have been a call there, but none to be had as the official was on the other side. Bartley over to the goal line for Wright. Now to Pfizer. Pfizer to Sekos. He's all alone on the right side. Centers it out in front to Wright. Oh, shot, and it goes wide. And the Steelheads clear it out. Good opportunity there as they were looking for the centering pass with Wright, but there was just maybe one too many Steelheads, and they're sticking the way.
Get pucks to the net. That is clearly the focus here for the Utah Grizzlies.
55 seconds and counting left in the power play. Same 5 on the ice for Utah. Sekos over to Cutler. Cutler trying to get it over to Sekos, and he does over in the left corner. Back up top for Cutler. As Brandon, all 5 of his points have been on the power play this year. Over to Sekos. He'll throw it up top for Bartley. Back to Sekos. Now to Pfizer on the right side. He'll take a shot. Saved by Kupski. Rebounds to the left side. As Sekos tries to get it to Cutler out in front. He got a stick held up. Puck towards the right side as Becker gets tripped up, and they're going to call it.
Come on.
Delayed penalty. Idaho 1-on-2. Jade Miller to the left side takes a shot, and it bounces off a Miner's glove. And Sekos touches up, and it's going to be a penalty on Utah as Jack Becker got tripped up on the right point. Cameron Wright pleads his case, but that does it for the Grizzlies power play. As we'll skate 4-on-4 for 21 seconds, and then after that, the Steelheads will have a power play.
How do you not call the first one where you have a Utah Grizzlies skater coming out from behind the net, but then an innocuous, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And this is a really difficult game to officiate. And I think the officials, do their best, but that's just, it's the penalties you don't call that make the biggest impact on the game, and not calling that trip to give the Grizzlies a 2-man advantage. And then putting the arm up right away after that, boy, that doesn't taste good.
Cameron Wright gets 10 minutes for tripping. He's in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions, so you can rest and relax. Utah wins the face-off, rolls it along the far boards. A.J. White keeps it in. Right side, Spangenberg's had a goal last night. We'll throw it to the right corner, taken by Martin. As Idaho peels back defensively. As we're skating 4-on-4 for 5 seconds. Raby back to McDonald. As Connor will get it to Martin on the near side. It is Cutler's out of the penalty box. Now the Steelheads begin their power play as the puck ends up at center ice. As Brady back at neutral ice will throw it back to Register as the Steelheads will skate back deep in their own zone, and they'll want to enter the offensive zone with some momentum. So they'll nudge it ahead to White. White at neutral ice gets poked away by Raby. Back to Brady. Brady back in his own zone as Raby comes off the ice. 1:15 left in the Steelheads abbreviated power play. They lead 1-0. As Brady skates towards his left, neutral ice, drops it off for Ducharme. Ducharme wearing number 11. Justin's his first name, as he's in a 1-year AHL contract with the Texas Stars. He's got good speed. He crosses center ice. Now he gets around Penner. Now to the left side. Ducharme with a shot. Saved by Miner. Rebound goes out to Keller to the left side in the corner. He nudges it up top for Register. Back to Hedrick. Now to Ducharme. Register back to Ducharme. He'll skate towards his right. Ducharme will feed it over to Kudla. Kudla, 3 defensemen on this power play unit. Kind of rare to see. Kudla over to Hedrick. Slot shot. Saved by Miner. Rebound goes out to the left side. Less than 30 seconds left in the power play for Idaho. Kudla on the right side. As he'll throw it to the slot for Ducharme. He'll take a shot. It's blocked by McDonald. Puck goes to the far corner. As Register gets hit by McDonald. Kudla in the left point. Across to Hedrick. Now back to Kudla. He's in the high slot. Toe drag. Now he'll throw it to the left side. Pass was wide to Register as it goes to the corner. Now back to Kudla along the far wall. To Keller. As out of the penalty box right now is Cameron Wright. Centering pass. Rolls on to Miner, who covers up. As Keller on a tough angle. Fired towards the net. Trent covers up. Good penalty kill by the Grizzlies. 16:33 left here in the third period. Idaho still leads 1-0.
A lot of zone time for the Steelheads on that power play. It's just, now you got to climb the mountain. 16:33 to go. Idaho leads the Utah Grizzlies 1-0 in the third period. And that was an important kill, but you're not done yet. Now you got to win this draw and get back on offense. The draw right after you kill a penalty, this draw is critically important.
Draw won by Idaho. Pelton Bice will throw it to Canati, but it bounced off the stick and out to neutralize. Canati gathers it and he'll throw it. He'll skate back into his blue line. They'll throw it into Grizzlies territory. Utah picks it off. Raby over to Wright. Wright skates down the middle. Gets poke checked by Canati. Now taking this Raby. Skate down the middle. Take a shot. Didn't get much on it with Murphy nearby. As Bardo turns it over. Wright gets it poked away by Domowski as it goes to the left point. Bartley's in the offensive zone to get it to Sekos. Sekos battling with Domowski, the former Hartford Wolfpack member. He'll throw it to Pelton Bice. Nice across to Canati, and the linesman, the eagle eye right there at the blue line, calls Idaho for offsides.
Boy, that was, again, you feel like if you're the Utah Grizzlies, you're battling, because if they don't get that call right, you've got a 2-on-1 with Johnny Walker there, but it is off, so now it's just outside of the Utah Grizzlies defensive zone. Keaton Jamison on the draw for the Grizzlies.
Draw near the Grizzlies bench. Becker takes it for Idaho, and he wins it. As Brady will get it to Keller, or make that Zane Franklin. And the puck ends up at center ice, taken by Johnny Walker. Walker 1-on-3, dumps it in. Walker gets around Brady. Kupski behind his net will roll it along the far wall. Utah tries the center. It's picked off by Register. Franklin will dump it in. No icing, is skating over there as Idaho back in. Shot to score. That's Justin Misiak. As Zane Franklin was at center ice, dumped it in. He was in Steelheads territory. He saw Misiak with good speed, was skating down there, was going to negate the icing. Misiak got it off the end wall, made a nice backhand move on Trent Miner. And that's a big insurance goal for the Steelheads. With 15:38 left in the third, Idaho leads 2-0.
Man, just a perfect bounce off of the corner board. Right off the corner board to Misiak. And he goes forehand, backhand into the net. Just a really, really difficult bounce. Wow.
Perfectly executed by Idaho as Franklin just dumped it in, and it bounced off the boards perfectly for Misiak, and he made a really nice move, kind of like his cousin Ryan Misiak did a few times for the Grizzlies in years past. As Brady will throw it out to center ice, as Idaho back in their own zone with the puck, and they've got a 2-0 lead. Darren Brady over to the right side will dump it in. As puck ends up in the left side, as Ducharme will get it to Svanenberg. Svanenberg's over to the corner. Back with A.J. White and Penner nearby. Penner hits White. Puck behind the Grizzlies net as Penner skates towards the near corner. He'll throw it across to McDonald. As McDonald over to Pfizer. He'll nudge it out to center ice for Bartley, who gets it right wing. And Victor will dump it in, but it bounced off the stick of Register, so it didn't go all the way off the end wall of Idaho's zone. They'll get it out to White. Now it's center ice where it's taken off a stick and goes to Martin. He'll feed it across to Bartley. Victor's pass was behind Pfizer. No icing as it got redirected. As Register and Pfizer collide along the end wall. Idaho gets it. They'll skate from left-south, or from left-right, north-south, as it goes back towards the left corner. Idaho in the offensive zone. Martin battling with Domowski. Martin in the corner gets it, and he'll throw it to Sekos. Sekos at neutral ice, fakes a pass to Raby, crosses center ice and dumps it in. It bounced off a stanchion, goes towards the slot. Idaho gets it. Steelheads will bounce it off the boards. It's out to center ice. Pelton Bice dumps it in. Keller chasing after it. Pouncey gets it and still skate around his net. Kyle around the boards. It's cut off by Domowski. Now to Keller in the left side. Keller skates towards a point, being challenged by Sekos. He'll feed it across to Hedrick. Hedrick over to the right side for Domowski. Centering pass to Bice. He couldn't get a shot off. He didn't have a shooting angle. He'll feed it to the left side. Idaho back to Domowski. Martin picks it off. Martin out to center ice for Wright. Wright skates down the middle. He gets challenged by Hedrick. Wright stops in the left circle, centers it. Bounced off a Steelhead and goes to Patrick Cudler, who flips it high into the air. Misses the video board just barely. Corey Thomas in his Grizzlies debut across to Kulatarchi. Back to Thomas, who's 6'5", 215 pounds. Over to Jamison, who steps over the offensive line, but gets hit by Hedrick and gets divorced in the puck as Barda over to Domowski, who lightly taps it deep into the Grizzlies zone.
I thought that he had a good gap on you.
He'll come off the ice for a change. 13:25 and counting left in the third. Idaho leads 2-0. As the Grizzlies towards Jamison, he gets hit by Jade Miller. Idaho gets it neutral ice. Bardo dumps it in. Kulatarchi over towards Fitz. It goes over his stick and out to neutral ice. And Jamison towards the Grizzlies bench will throw it to Kulatarchi. Back to Jamison. Passes behind, went through him. Out to the Steelheads territory right wing. Fitz dumps it in. Fitz has 2 shots on goal here so far tonight. As Bardo along the far side spins it along the wall. It's at center ice. McDonald cuts it off. Over to Fitz, who dumps it in as he gets hit near the Steelheads bench. As Fitz wants some action with Murphy, both guys push each other, and they get a look near Monty. Out to the right side, Canadi gains the offensive line and dumps it into the corner as McDonald and Canadi collide. As goes back towards Miller. Miller and McDonald collide. Svanenberg skates towards the right corner as he's one-on-one with Bartley. Svanenberg centers it, picked off by Penner. Penner crosses center ice. Grizzlies skate from right to left. As near the Steelheads bench. Puck goes back to Cutler in the Grizzlies zone. Brandon will throw it towards Utah's bench for Pfizer. Pfizer as he skates towards his left. 12:15 left in the third. Idaho leads 2-0. McDonald back on the far side. Now skate along the right wing boards. Over to Bartley. Victor skates towards the near side, dumps it in. Pfizer in the right corner gets it, and he'll whip it around the boards. Grizzlies make a line change as Martin back in the Grizzlies zone gets the puck. He'll throw it across to Pouncey. Kyle at neutralized cross the center, right wing, and he'll lift the puck as it bounces off the boards. Pouncey chasing after it. Kupski will throw it towards the right corner. Now to Jack Becker. Becker out to center ice for Keller. Keller crosses center ice and dumps it in. He gets past Pouncey and Martin. Keller avoids a check of Martin in the corner. Keller has given the Grizzlies some fits over the years. Keller looks to center it. Nobody was home. Walker gets the puck. Johnny Walker along the right wing. Crosses center ice. And he'll dump the puck in. Grizzlies get two new defensemen on the ice. Right around the net as Seckles with a shot that gets blocked. As Pelton Bice will throw it around the Idaho net. Register will throw it out to the high slot. McDonald kept it in the zone, throws it along the boards. Now Seckles left side centering pass, shot on and missed the net. Boy, Wright had a wide open shot on a great centering pass and just missed it.
Wow.
Bartley over to Wright, left side shot. Glove saved by Kupski, but Cameron Wright looking to the heavens and wondering what happened there. As boy, he was right there in front and just missed the net.
Johnny Walker into it
the whistle,
heavy.
Johnny Walker. Walker had some words with Zane Franklin after Franklin, and it combined on that goal with Justin Misiak. Misiak scored 4:22 into the third period. Franklin and Cutler got the assist. Idaho leads 2-0, 11:01 left in the third period. We're back in 1 minute. This is Grizzlies Hockey presented by Rio Tinto.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
11:01 is left in the third period. Pooch on the Pond and an AFCU Friday here at Maverik Center. Next home game will be on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. 3:10 will be the face-off, 2:40 pregame. I'm Tyson Whiting here, high top section 114. Monty is on the Grizzlies bench. Great opportunity out in front by Cameron Wright. He just kind of missed the one-timer, kind of one-time chip out in front, but Seckles made a nice pass there as the face-off's in the right circle. Idaho wins the draw as Hedrick is back deep in the Steelhead zone. Cutler takes it away. He'll throw it to the right side for Penner. Penner in the corner, around the boards. Victor Bartley on the left side stops it at the point. As Bartley will throw it back to Cutler. He skates towards the right corner. Now Cutler over to Pfizer. One-timer on it, goes wide. Good opportunity there, but it just missed wide. Franklin will lift it over the head of Pfizer, and it goes deep into the Grizzlies zone. McDonald chases after it. Connor around the net. Now he stops behind Minor. They'll feed it to the far side. Now Grizzlies get it across to Penner. Penner skates along the left wing boards, crosses center ice, and rolls it around the boards. Smooth, takes a smooth ride out to the right point of the Steelhead zone. Hedrick gets pushed by Penner, taken by Pfizer. Pfizer feeds it over to the left circle. Hacking away, puck ends up squirting back to the corner. Penner up top for Pouncey. Pouncey with a righty shot that's blocked by Franklin. Over to the left corner. Grizzlies gather it. Cam Strong skates towards a point. Gets it back to Pouncey. Pouncey around the net as he's being shadowed by Cudla. He'll throw it off the far wing boards. Idaho gets it. As Ducharme gets it poked away by Corey Thomas. Up ahead to the left side for Jamison. Idaho throws Jamison back to center ice. Now it's taken by Ducharme. Ducharme to the right side takes a shot. And that gets blocked by Pouncey. Kyle will throw it across to Fitz. Fitz, the former Orlando Solar Bear, gets it taken away by Becker. Centering pass, shot to score. Jonas Spanenbergs has made it a 3-0 game as Becker fed it out in front, and Spanenbergs now is a goal in back-to-back games. And with 9:39 left in the third, it's the Steelheads 3 and the Grizzlies 0.
Man, it's just so, man, it's frustrating. You know, you watch this club work really hard, and you miss an open net. You know, I mean, that you just can't. I mean, and why Spanenberg skates right through the crease.
Oh, there's a great pass out in front by Jack Becker. He's looked good in the series against Utah. Becker with the assist, and Spangenberg's with the goal. Grizzlies get it, slot shot, saved by Kupski. That one was taken by Cameron Wright, who's looking for his 4th goal of the season. And the puck back in the Grizzlies zone. Sekos gets it. He gets to McDonald in the corner, up ahead. As Cameron Wright, who's played well tonight, crosses center ice, dumps it in. It bounces off the pad of Kupski, deflects off the protective netting and out of play. Grizz will have an offensive zone draw with 9:17 left in the third.
You know, this game is amazing. Cameron Wright is going to go home and break something. I mean, it's that close. And Cameron Wright has played a heck of a game tonight. And I don't know that he would agree with me on that, but Cam has really played very well and just missed that net.
Draw won by the Steelheads in their own zone as Register will lift it out to center ice. As Idaho loses their stick, good play by Connor McDonald. Picking it back up is Domowski. As Penner will throw it to center ice for Cutler. Cutler along the left wing, skates to the left circle. Cutler looks for a shot, and he lifted it on head off the glass. Pfizer slot, and he'll throw it to the corner. More of a pass than a shot as puck ends up with Cutler. Back to Pfizer. I got it poked away by Pelton Bice. Good defensive play. Bice skates along the left side, enters the zone, over to the circle. He tried to feather it out in front by Domowski, and McDonald dove in front of the pass. Brady along the near side gets hit by Penner as Grizzlies have it. Cutler out to center ice, crosses center and dumps it in. Grizzlies make a line change as Kupski already with 2 shutouts this season. One of them against Utah, 23 save clean sheet on October 29th. He's got a clean sheet right now of 19 shots. Idaho leads 3-0. Steelheads have outshot the Grizzlies 31-19. Try not to be a homer, but that's my way of trying to jinx Kupski. As out towards Grizzlies territory, Misiak. I thought Misiak might have gotten a piece of it, but icing on the Steelheads. Faceoff's going to come back to the Idaho zone with 8:13 left in the third.
Yeah, he didn't get close to it, so another opportunity here, but now you're down 3. And I don't know that I've ever seen this particular group of guys this frustrated for the Utah Grizzlies. You know, you're right there, and I know it sounds ridiculous trailing 3-0, but you're on the verge of a 5-goal explosion. Like, you just feel it. They're so close.
Sekos will take the draw. It's won by Utah. As Sekos throws to Raby along the near wall. Back to Wright. As Grizzlies in the offensive zone. Wright and Brady push each other. Puck ends up to the right side. Martin on the right point takes a shot. Deflected off a Steelhead stick and bounces out of play off the protective netting. 7:58 left here in the third.
Keep grinding. You know, you got to win every shift now. And again, it's the same thing we said last night. You got to find something to feel good about. You got 7:58 to go. The game's not over. If you could just get one, that's what's required here. You got about 2 minutes and 58 seconds, and you just need to get one somehow, some way.
Draw is taken in the right circle. Second of a 3-game series. Idaho won 6-1 last night. Grizzlies went 9-6-0-1 against the Steelheads last year. As Utah won the Mountain Division, Idaho missed the playoffs for the first time ever, but Idaho's come back with some resolve as they win the faceoffs. Vandenberg's in the left circle. As he looks to center to Hedrick didn't miss the pass by much. Puck rolls along the near wall. At center ice, A.J. White gets taken away by Sekos. Sekos has played a great game with and without the puck as they'll throw it to Bartley back in the Grizzlies zone. Bartley wearing number 42 will feed it to McDonald. Connor will bounce it off of Ducharme. Back to Bartley. And make that Sekos, who's got an A on his sweater. As James Schur, normally wearing an A on the sweaters and a suit in the Grizzlies bench. Over towards Bartley on the right side. He couldn't quite get it. Pelton Bice will clear it back out to center. McDonald peels back into his own zone. He'll throw it to center ice for Sekos. They'll feed it towards the Steelheads bench. It's taken by Domowski. Domowski will dump it in from center ice. He's just so quick. Domowski, and he's pretty similar to Sekos style-wise. Long-range pass didn't hit Cameron Wright, and even if it did, he was in Grizzlies territory. Icing on the Grizzlies, 6:59 left here in the third. Don't forget, both teams will be off tomorrow, Sunday afternoon. I think about 2:40 for the pregame show. It's the first 3 o'clock game I think we've ever had here at Maverik Center. Sunday games will be at 3:10. I think about 2:40, maybe 2:45 for the pregame show. Probably 2:40.
2:40.
Face-off will be at 3:10. Make sure to follow the Grizzlies on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I've heard the Grizzlies TikTok is booming, even though I haven't joined TikTok as of yet. But hey, if Twitter's going to go down, I might have to join TikTok. I don't know. Grizzlies win the draw. McDonald will fire it off the far glass. And it goes all the way deep into the Steelhead zone. Jake Kupski wanted icing, but it's waved off.
Good hustle by the Grizzlies there. Brandon Cutler to get there and save icing.
Steelheads will get it out to center ice as Keller from center ice dumps it on to Miner. Miner stops it in the crease. He'll give it to Bryson Martin. 6:33 and counting left in the third. Martin over to Pouncey. Kyle along the near side will throw it to Cutler, and he'll dump it in. Kanadi gets it. Near side will roll it back towards the right side as Utah skating from right to left here in the third period. As now it's taken by Zane Franklin at center ice. He's being shadowed by Penner. As Franklin drops it off for Becker. Becker dumps it in. Franklin and Becker have the two key passes here in the third period that led to Idaho goals. Puck bounces over the stick of Register and goes from the Grizzlies' offensive blue line back to Idaho's as Register gathers it, throws to Brady on the right side. Brady dumps it in as it bounced off the glass. Becker collides with Corey Thomas in the corner. As Martin will get it ahead to Walker. Walker crosses center ice. He'll feed it to the left side for Strong. Strong skates towards the left side. Oh, nice centering pass behind the back, but it was behind Robinson. Franklin will cut across center ice. Franklin will dump it in, and he gets hit by Walker. Franklin and Walker collide. Both guys look at each other. Now somebody else hits Walker. Walker and Franklin haven't dropped the gloves, but they're thinking about it. Crossing center ice is Strong. Over to the left side for Robinson. Now we got a fight. Franklin throws two rights, and Walker goes down. Franklin continues to swing with the right, and the linesmen step in. And you knew it was just a matter of time before Zane Franklin and Johnny Walker dropped the gloves. Both guys looked at each other for a while. Franklin got two rights, knocking Walker down, and then while Walker was on two knees, Franklin continued to pound away with about two or three rights.
Yeah.
5:27 left in the third. Franklin goes to the penalty box, and Walker will take a stroll to the Grizzlies locker room.
Yeah, that's going to be probably an additional 2 for Johnny Walker if he's headed downstairs, but my guess is we'll see. You know, I mean, this is what you expected a lot earlier in this game. You know, it's not surprising. Johnny and Franklin have been looking for each other. The problem is that Franklin's that guy who doesn't really want to go. He doesn't really want to fight. He just wants to be a tough guy, and then when it's time to go, he doesn't want to go.
5:27 left in the third. We're back in 30 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
5:27 left in the third period. Franklin was in the penalty box, and now he's gone. He went to the locker room, had a few words for the Grizzlies bench. Franklin, we saw him a couple years ago when he was with the Allen Americans, and looks like he's about the same player he was in Allen. He does a little bit of everything. He made a nice pass, dumping it in, and Misiak, just won the foot race. And that was Allen's second goal. Allen led 1-0 going into the third period, and then Misiak scored 4:22 into the third with Kudla and Franklin getting the assist. And Idaho extended the lead as Vandenberg's got a nice centering feed out in front from Jack Becker. Becker with an assist. Vandenberg's with a goal in back-to-back games. 10:21 into the third, and it looks like
4-on-4, I think.
Looks like roughing and fighting, so it's going to be 5 and a 2. And with less than 7 minutes left in regulation, both guys are going to get an early shower.
Yeah, but it looks like there is a 2-minute extra, and the Idaho Steelheads are going to be on the power play.
Walker gets 2 minutes for roughing. Looks like Franklin just gets 5, as does Franklin. So it's out of all of that, it's going to be a power play for Idaho. They lead 3-0. An extra roughing minor for Walker. Time of penalty 14:33.
This has been an ugly 2 games for the Utah Grizzlies.
Looks like Cam Strong is going to be the attorney representing Johnny Walker and the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell, as Pelton Bice will take the face-off against Zach Sekos. Draw won by Idaho as Kudla over to Domowski will take a shot and it goes wide off the glass. And Utah trying to clear it out, and they do as it went past Kudla, who regathers it. Idaho resets up as Domowski right wing throws it to the corner, hit a stanchion, and the puck taken by Wright as he tried to clear it out, but hit a little bit of the side of the net. Kudla gets it. He'll throw it to Hedrick. Hedrick with a shot, saved by Miner. Rebound, McDonald throws to Sekos, who clears it out into the Steelhead zone. Steelheads regather into the zone, as that was pretty quick, the transition game. Kudla has to go back to center ice as Hedrick's pass went wide off the boards, now near Utah's bench. Keller will throw it back deep in the Steelhead zone as Kupski will give it to Kudla. Grizzlies will get a fresh set of skaters on the ice. 4:40 and counting left in the third. Time is on Idaho's side. They lead 3-0. Kudla, right wing pass to White. White gains the line, will stop near the corner. And Grizzlies picking off Kolatarchi, clears it out. And it's interesting to see A.J. White clean shaven. He's usually sporting either a mustache or a beard. He's clean shaven here tonight. Over to the right corner. Pfizer battling with Kudla as White throws to Martin, who kept it in the left point. As Pfizer and Cutler, but Pfizer got it taken away as Ducharme crosses center ice. Justin Ducharme over to Svanenbergs. Svanenberg's right side, drops it out for Register. Register gets it across to the right side, took a strange deflection into the left corner. Brady's pass to White goes past him, out to the right corner. Now Svanenberg feeds it along the far wing boards. Brady gets it poked away by Wright out to center ice. Idaho resets. 20 seconds left in their power play. Svanenberg's in the right side near the boards. Will fire it off the end wall as it rolls back towards the left side for Brady. Brady up top for Register. Register back towards Brady. Bartley got a stick in the way. Now Sekos takes it. He'll throw a left wing pass to Martin. Martin in the left side at center ice. Will throw it behind his back as Strong is out of the penalty box. He was representing Walker. We got an extra 2 minutes for roughing. Pass up ahead, deflects off of Strong's stick. Idaho clears it back out to center. As Jack Becker over to the right side, 1-on-4, steps over the line, now 1-on-5. Idaho makes a line change behind the play. Raby battling with Becker, and it's going to be a slash. The two Michigan guys collided near the boards, and looks like Cam Strong walking back into the penalty box. 2 minutes for slashing. 3:12 left in the third period. This baby's probably in the refrigerator, as I saw Randy Connolly heading for the exits a couple minutes ago. Connolly's got, I think he's got the best seat in the house. He's about 10 rows in front of me. And some other fans. We got a really good Friday night crowd here at Maverik Center, but a lot of dogs in attendance, and it was a lot of spirit tonight, but Idaho gets another power play. Grizzlies led the league in shorthanded goals last season, and now would be a good time to get their first. As Idaho wins the draw, Kudla across to the right side for Domowski. As Idaho has outshot Utah 9-1 over the 2 games here at Maverik Center. As Hedrick has the pass go past him along the near boards. Pfizer over to Cutler, puck bounced over his stick. As Idaho, Kudla throw it to Hedrick in Grizzlies territory, neutral ice. He'll feed it across to Domowski. Domowski to the left side, skates towards the corner, being shadowed by McDonald. Domowski throws it up top for Kudla. He'll get it to the high slot for Hedrick. Hedrick back to Kudla, and he'll get it to the left circle. Shot to score. That's Colton Keller, who fires away and gets it over Trent Miner's left shoulder. And that will make it a 4-0 game as Keller gets his 7th goal of the season.
I mean, there's I don't even know what you say about that. You know, like it is just, it's one of those weekends. It's a very difficult thing to control your mind when you're losing and you're trailing. Essentially, you're losing this series 10-1 right now.
Draw won by the Grizzlies. They skate from right to left. We're back to 5-on-5 skating. Keller with the goal and the assist to Owen Hedrick and Patrick Kudla, who once again has played pretty well. Kudla was a star last night, and he's played really well once again tonight. Idaho's defensive unit's been on point. Puck at center ice. Corey Thomas will feed it to the right side for Strong. Strong towards the right corner, drops off for Jamison. Jamison with a tough angled shot save. Rebound shot. Martin with it, and Kupski makes that save as well. And after the whistle, Bardo and Becker let Jamison know that that's our goaltender and stay away from him. Well, 2:09 left in the third, and Kupski right now is pitching another shutout. It would be his 3rd of the year.
It would be, but you've got 2:09 to go. Trailing 4-0 here in the third period. Idaho leads 4-0, and man, oh man. You know, I wonder what does it take? I mean, because you're just never going to convince me that Idaho is 10-1 better over 2 games than the Utah Grizzlies. I'm just not buying that.
Kupski last season had 3 shutouts in 38 games with Idaho, including 1 against the Grizzlies. He also had 1 shutout with South Carolina and a few shutouts in the SPHLs. The puck goes back to neutralize. Bryson Martin back in his own zone. Less than 2 minutes left in regulation. Martin over to Cam Strong. Strong was a teammate of Domowski's in South Carolina last year. Up ahead to Robinson. Bounced off his stick. Now Robinson gets it back. He scored Utah's lone goal in this series. Over to the right side. Kanata takes it away. They'll lift it high. The puck stayed towards the far boards. Taken by Becker. Becker skates into the zone 2-on-4. Right side will take a shot. Stick saved by Minor. And deflects off the end glass. Ducharme. Wearing number 11 over to Becker behind the net. Becker tries to feed it out in front and hit off the skate of Bartley back towards Becker. Becker gets hit. Vandenbergs takes the puck. Left side, he skates towards the point. Takes a shot and it's blocked by McDonald. Connor gets it. 1:15 left in the third. McDonald will pitch it out to center ice. He goes between the Idaho defensemen. That's going to be icing on Utah. 1:10 is on the Maverik Center scoreboard clock. Still, it's about shot the Grizzlies 33-21. Utah's been outshot big time in the last 3 games, and it looks like Utah is going to lose their 3rd in a row, which came after a 4-game winning streak. So Utah will be 4-3 in their last 7 games.
Yeah, you're just going to have to figure it out. I mean, and Sunday becomes a very big moment in time. It's such a young season, but, you know, at what point is it not young anymore?
Draw one by the Steelheads. It goes between the 2 defensemen out to neutralize. Grizzlies will sneak in a line change. 1 minute left in regulation as the fans head for the exits. Brady at neutral ice will dump it towards Vandenbergs, who dumps it in. Minor wants icing, and the linesmen agree. Faceoff's going to come back to the Steelhead zone with less than a minute left in the 3rd period. Both teams will have tomorrow off. Sunday, 2:40 pregame show, 3:10 faceoff. Everybody's got a DVR. DVR the football game. Come on down to watch some hockey here at Maverik Center. And after all, the 2 o'clock game are probably getting locally's Raiders Donkeys. I mean, you want to watch that? You want to watch a bunch of punts? Well, come on down and watch some good hockey as the Steelheads and Grizzlies will meet for the 3rd time in 4 days. Utah wins the draw around the net. Penner tries to feed it out in front and hit off a skate. Goes to Vandenbergs. Vandenbergs will dump it in. No icing as Ducharme skates over there. Ducharme gets hit by Corey Thomas. Puck ends up in the right corner as Vandenbergs feeds it across. Half a minute left in regulation. A.J. White falls down. Fitz was nearby. White fell on his own. Vandenbergs right side will feed it across. It rolls along the far boards. White kept it in. Spins it back behind the net. Ducharme hits Thomas, but Utah gets the puck. 20 seconds left. Utah gets it out to center ice. Register regathers it near the Idaho bench. Rink-wide pass off the right wing boards. Wade Murphy pushes Utah along the wall. 10 seconds left. Grizzlies have it. Pulatarchi over to Corey Thomas for the 2nd time this season. Jake Kupski has shut out the Grizzlies. 23 saves on October 29th, and tonight it's 21 saves as the Steelheads get a 4-0 victory, and they've outscored the Grizzlies 10-1 through the first 2 games of this series. Utah's now lost 3 in a row after winning 4 in a row. As the Steelheads get the victory, their record goes to 9-2-0-1. The Grizzlies right now are at the 500 mark. They are 6-6 on the season. Utah is 1-3 at home. Idaho won 11 road games all of last season. Picks up their 5th road game of the year as they are now 5-1-0-1 on the road. As the Grizzlies salute their fans here at Maverik Center. It was a really good crowd on a Friday night. Pooch on the Pond in an AFCU Friday, but the Steelheads come out on top. It was a 1-0 game heading into the 3rd period. 3 unanswered in the 3rd, and Idaho gets a 4-0 victory. Both teams will have tomorrow off, and we think about Sunday being a big game as Idaho goes for the sweep and Utah trying to salvage that 3rd game, and I think it's going to be an interesting test here at Maverik Center.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sunday now just becomes so important, and you know, it's. I don't even know what you say if you're Ryan Kanasowicz and you walk into that room right now. What do you even say? You know, I mean, you just got beat 10-1 in 2 games by Idaho on your own ice. That's tough. And I mean, this has been an ugly 2 games. I mean, you got embarrassed last night, and that was the word that Ryan Kanasowicz used is embarrassment. And now you got to figure out what you are, what you want to be, who you are, however you want to phrase it. You got to figure out how much does this game of hockey mean to you? Because you're drawing a paycheck, and for a lot of people, you're drawing a paycheck for the very first time in your entire career. So how badly do you want to do that?
because there's a lot of guys where you're going to question their want to. You're going to question, hey, is this who I want to be? Because getting beat 10-1 by Idaho is just never going to be good enough.
Final score tonight here from Maverik Center. Idaho Steelheads 4, Utah Grizzlies nothing. Post-game show starts in 30 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Four 0 Steelheads. As Idaho's won each of the first two games of this series, Grizzlies fall to the 500 mark. They are 6-6 on the year. Idaho's record goes to 8-2-0-1. And Tyson Whiting sitting high atop section 114. Monty is on the bench. A really good crowd of 6,349 was at Maverik Center tonight. Biggest crowd of the season to date. In a game that lasted 2 hours and 32 minutes, you think about that defensive effort. It was a good goaltending matchup between Jake Kupski of Idaho and Utah's Trent Miner. Kupski had 3 shutouts last season. He's already matched that mark this year, picking up his 3rd shutout. Idaho outshot Utah 34-21. Trent Miner stopped 30 of 34. Jake Kupski stopped all 21. He saw 2nd shutout against the Grizzlies this season for Kupski. 2nd time the Grizzlies have been shut out. Idaho scored first 5:33 into the 2nd period. Neither team scored in the first. Ryan Domowski got his 10th of the year, and it always seems like with those interesting breaks you get, it always seems like it's the goal scorers like Ryan Domowski who gets those. And he's one of the best scorers in the league, and he made it a 1-0 game. It stayed 1-0 through the end of the 2nd period. And then, the game, I thought was kind of a couple interesting plays that led to Idaho's goals, and really it was the transition game. Franklin was in his own zone. He saw that Misiak was behind the Grizzlies defense, dumped it in deep, it bounced off the end wall. Took a perfect bounce off the boards from Misiak, who was able to get it. He was on the left side, made a really nice backhand move on Trent Miner, and that made it a 2-0 game. As Trent Miner, not much he could have done on that move, as Zane Franklin picked up his 1st assist of the year. Matt Register also with an assist, or make that the 5th assist for Franklin this year, and for Matt Register his 4th assist. Idaho led 2-0, and then Jack Becker was behind the net, centered it out in front to a wide open Jonas Vandenbergs. Vandenbergs got his 3rd of the season. He's now scored a goal in back-to-back games. That made it a 3-0 contest, and then Idaho got on the power play after Cam Strong got a slashing minor, and early in that power play, Colton Keller got a 7th of the year. Cudlip and Owen Hedrick with the assists. For Utah, Cameron Wright led the way with 4 shots. 3 shots for Zach Sekos, 2 for McDonald, Pfizer, Fitz, and Strong. And then 1 shot each for Bryson Martin, Tyler Penner, Pouncey, Robinson, and Cutler. For Idaho, Colton Keller led the way with 6 shots. 1 of his 6 found the back of the net. It was his 7th goal of the season. 4 shots for Ryan Domowski and Patrick Cudla. 3 shots for Justin Ducharme. Justin Ducharme in his Idaho Steelheads debut. He was just acquired today as he came over from the AHL's Texas Stars. He's got a 1-year AHL entry-level deal. And also 3 shots for Darren Brady and Jade Miller. And overall, it was just a big-time effort for the Steelheads. You think about that 3rd period when we call winning time. Idaho dominated the stat sheet, winning in scoring chances 5-3. 3 of those 5 scoring chances found the back of the net. Idaho won the faceoff battle in the 3rd period 12-5. Idaho had 4 power play shots. Utah had 1. Giveaways, Utah ended up with 10. Idaho also had 10. So 10 giveaways on both sides. And if you think about the Grizzlies, you're thinking about being shorthanded defensively. Not having James Shearer since the 3rd game of the season. Not having Andrew Nelson tonight. First time he's missed a game this year. Not having Nate Clerman, who's up in the AHL right now. They brought in Corey Thomas. He signed a contract today and made his Grizzlies debut. But overall, it was just too much Steelheads. They get the victory 4-0 as they have outscored the Grizzlies 10-1 in the first 2 games of the series. We got Guy Carenza hanging out with me all night long, and And Guy, it was a 1-0 game going into the third period, and it was just two nice plays out in front on the transition game that made it a 3-0 contest, and Idaho cruised to victory after that.
Yeah, this is a really tough one to swallow for the Grizzlies. I really like the way that they came out to play to start this game, and they just couldn't buy a goal, you know. And that's the story of the last two games is the Grizzlies' offense has kind of faltered. They haven't really sustained any offensive pressure in the Idaho zone. So, I mean, I really feel like if they can get the next goal, like the next goal is just going to open the floodgates for this team. But right now they're snake-bitten, and they're having a tough time scoring.
I think if you're the Grizzlies, it's just what do you do from there? I mean, you talk about Idaho as a pretty disciplined team defensively. They've scored a lot of goals, and it's just the Grizzlies. What do you do?
Well, the tough thing is that they're having trouble capitalizing on the power play. And credit to Idaho, they've got a really good penalty kill. And so usually when you look for a jump start to your offense, that's where you look to is the power play. If we can get one on the power play, we can get one 5-on-5. We're going to be in good territory. But right now the Grizzlies just can't seem to buy a goal. The puck luck is not going their way. So I really feel like if they could just start taking shots, get a guy in front of the net, just get a tip in, get some puck luck, get that next goal, get over that hump, and then you're going to be in good territory.
Well, the Grizzlies had 21 shots tonight and almost felt like with as much puck possession as they had, probably should be somewhere around the 30 mark. I mean, a lot of deflections. There were some blocked shots out in front, but it almost feels like that shot count could be a little bit higher than what it turned out to be.
Yeah, and I think that's credit to Idaho's defensive system, the system that they're playing. They're not letting the Grizzlies sustain the puck in the zone. The Grizzlies' only shots, most of them were coming off the rush from the neutral zone. They'd take a shot from the blue line or around the perimeter, and Kupski would swallow that up, and he doesn't allow a lot of rebounds, so not a lot of chances for the Grizzlies to get a whole lot of shots there.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us here high atop Section 114 and during the postgame report.
Oh, thank you, Tyson.
That's Guy Krenz. We got Monty back on the Grizzlies bench. And, Monty, any final words before we head out tonight?
It's funny. I was talking to one of our sponsors from Mountain Land Supply and just, that said the same thing you said. How are we going to score goals? Got to score goals. When you lose 10-1, and you lose this way to Idaho, it's a tough night of sleep. And tomorrow's going to be a very long day off. And I think they need it. They will not, the Grizzlies will not skate or practice tomorrow. So they're going to get away from the game for a day, Tyson, which probably is exactly what they need. You just cannot accept performances like this. And I actually think through two periods, the Utah Grizzlies played really well.
Yeah, that was a very even game through two periods.
Yeah. And I mean, the Idaho Steelheads, don't mistake it. The Idaho Steelheads are a very, very good hockey club. And they are much improved on last year. And I know we've said that 1,000 times, but it's absolutely the truth. This is it. This Idaho team is vastly improved. They're faster, and they've gotten a lot more skilled than they were last year when they could not win on the road. And now they can win on the road. And I think in 2 weeks when we go up to Idaho, it's going to be a very interesting collision because there is vitriol, there is anger, there is frustration. I can honestly say I don't know that I've ever seen this Utah Grizzlies team this frustrated in the past.
We had a great crowd here at Maverik Center of over 6,300 here on Pooch on the Pond and an AFCU Friday. And it's back to the drawing board. Tomorrow's an off day. You and Jake going to do anything fun for the Saturday? It's BYU's senior day. They're taking on Utah Tech. You got anything fun planned?
Yes, snowboarding. I will be up in Park City, PCMR, and the Canyons. I will be snowboarding and forgetting about 10-1 in the last two games because, man, yes, I will be snowboarding, and then I will be coming home and watching football.
It'll be me, my recliner, some pizza, and some Coca-Cola products, obviously, and enjoying some football. And come back at Sunday as Utah looking to salvage the third game of the series. Like I said before, it was a great crowd, biggest crowd of the season, 6,349 here at Maverik Center, and it was a good defensive battle on both sides. Idaho was able to break through in the transition game a couple times in the third period. Then they scored on the power play. But all you can do is just keep battling, and there's going to be an event here at Maverik Center tomorrow. Both teams will have it off, and we'll see what happens Sunday afternoon. 2:40 pregame show, 3:10 face-off. Monty hanging out on the bench. I'm here high atop Section 114. We talked with Tim Broussard and Guy Carenza. It was nice hearing from them tonight, and we'll hear from them once again on Sunday afternoon. Once again, the final score in 2 hours and 32 minutes and in front of 6,349 here at Maverik Center on Pooch on the Pond and an AFCU Friday. The Idaho Steelheads got goals from 4 different forwards: Domowski, Misiak, Svanenbergs, and Keller, and Jake Kupski gets a 21-save shutout. We'll be back at it. 2:40 pregame show, 3:10 face-off. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast and not necessarily the final outcome. For Guy Carenza and Tim Broussard and Tim Montemayor, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is. We'll talk to you on Sunday afternoon right here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.